From Franklinton High School in Washington Parish, Louisiana, Crescent City Sports Prep Football is once again on the air. Tonight we've got a good one for the District 8 4A Championship as the Lakeshore Titans travel to visit the Franklinton Demons. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder along with Wade Kaiser, Chip Merritt, our producer, Matt Merritt, Matt Beal, bringing you the pictures this evening of what should be a good one between two teams having some success. First-year head coaches, Wade, but tradition-rich programs as well. And you look at all aspects of this shapes up to be a pretty good matchup with a district championship on the line tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And, I think you hit the head on the key there perfectly. Two traditional programs. Franklinton's been there, Lakeshore's been there in the playoffs, even though Lakeshore is a newer school. They've established a tradition over there on the North Shore, and those guys are used to being in the playoffs. Both teams tonight come in here with high hopes of winning a district championship or a part of the district championship for their district, and it should be a great football game.
Looking forward to it. Lakeshore 7-2 on the year, 4-0 in the district. In fact, let's take a look at the District 8 4A standings to show you exactly what is at stake this evening. Lakeshore undefeated in the league. Franklinton, along with Salmon, each with one loss in the league. So basically what you're looking at is this. Lakeshore wins it, they win the outright district championship. Franklinton wins it, you've got a tie for the title. Will it be two teams, will it be three teams that end up tied for the District 8 4A title? Color guard making their way to the field, as you do see exactly what we're talking about there. Those two teams on top battling it out. It could end up a three-way tie. Perhaps Salmon wins this evening and Franklinton wins, and this turns into a three-way tie for the title. But that's all you can ask for, Wade, as we get ready with the color guard. But you just want a chance to be able to play for a district championship in Week 10.
Well, district championships are important. I'm glad they're important. A lot of people don't put a lot of stock in them anymore because of the wild card rankings and how things come out on the bracket. But I tell you what, it's about tradition, and districts are important to many people, and that's the reason why you first compete to win a district.
We pause.
Please bow your head.
For our invocation, followed by the national anthem.
And for allowing us to celebrate our seniors who have given their dedication to Franklinton High School. We pray that you will watch over them as they continue with their lives and remind them that they have teachers and friends who are praying for them daily. Thank you for allowing everyone to be here tonight. We ask for the protection of the players and support groups while they participate in what they love to do. We pray that we will keep you first in everything we do and give you all the glory. We ask you to protect us as we leave here tonight and bring us safely next week. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Our national anthem is a horse with an American flag gallops across the far sideline. We've seen about everything here tonight. I tell you one thing that's going to play a factor in this game. We talked about all the impact. The wind is going to be important tonight. The wind, as we view it tonight, from right to left, is howling. It will play a factor in the kicking game, I have no doubt. And before the game, we saw Lakeshore's tent on the far sideline blow from the bench area to the end zone.
Well,
it just took off like a heat-seeking missile, Wade.
Well, that's the reason why I pointed the horse out to you. Did you see the speed the horse had? It looked like something at the fairgrounds, right? It was running with with the wind, right? So, yeah, the winds could be a factor here tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to affect the kicking game coming out of the southeast ahead of a front that we're expecting to roll through here tomorrow. And, you're kicking off, it might change your strategy a little bit. Kicking with it, if you're kicking into it, it's going to change your strategy. Kicking with it, then you want to see, hopefully, you can get into that end zone and have a defense with 80 yards to their back.
Yeah, we mentioned the first-year head coaches. Brett Indes, the guy who spent a lot of his career in the Acadiana area, coached at Abbeville, Crowley, Kaplan, Karen Crow, Catholic, and New Iberia. A 3-time state coach of the year. He's had a lot of success, but now he's made his way over to the North Shore, coaching at Lakeshore. And at Franklinton, Guy LeCompte, the guy we're very, very familiar with, has been at a bunch of places recently. Mandeville, a lot of success there. Holy Cross for a couple of years, Country Day for a couple of years. And then this opportunity at Franklinton presented itself, a chance for him to get back over on the side of the lake where he has been very comfortable. So,
well, these two guys bring in a great resume.
So Franklinton wins the toss. They will defer, and they're going to kick from right to left as we view it. So Franklinton will defer. They will get the football to start the third quarter, and they're going to take the wind at their backs here in the first quarter.
Well, Guy LeCompte's resume is also throwing the ball all over the place, right? He's one of the best guys that I know out there that knows a lot about the throwing game. He likes to stretch the field vertically, so he's going to try to jump on top of Lakeshore right away by throwing that football with the wind.
And we've got two pretty good quarterbacks in this game as well. You've got Samuel Willie, a returning starter for Lakeshore, has thrown for over 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. Not something you normally see with a Brent Indes team is a throwing quarterback, but obviously he inherited, one that can throw it a little bit. And then Zion Anders, the senior for Franklinton, over 1,500 yards passing and 14 touchdowns. He's also rushed for 6 scores. So we get set for football again. A district championship on the line here in 8-4A. It's a big night. You mentioned the weather could be a factor in some other parts of the state. I know they were starting games early tonight in northwest Louisiana, maybe to try to beat this weather. Not necessarily a factor here, but it's going to come through overnight. So here we go. Week 10 of the Louisiana high school football season. Winner of this one will be a district champion, or possibly a co-champion.
And number 5, Jared Robertson.
Kick is in the air, and it will come down to about the 5-yard line. This is Ziegler on the return, and we'll get it out to about just shy of the 30-yard line. We'll call Colby Ziegler's name a bunch tonight, Wade.
Well, we will. He kind of does everything. He's kind of the horse at the racetrack, as you per se, for this offense that you're going to see mostly operate out of a wing T offense. You'll see them do some different things. We will see a little wildcat tonight. We will see a little spread, but mostly their bread and butter, and that is the bread and butter that Brett Indes brings is wing T football.
So from call it the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Give it away on first down. And about 4, and that's really what you want on first down, right? Evan Kitchen, the sophomore fullback, who's got 445 yards on the year, gets the first carry.
You're going to see Kitchen mostly at fullback, and you'll see Ziegler mostly at halfback. You'll also see at wingback Tyson Wall. They're going to operate out of a 3-back system, 1 wide receiver, and 1 tight end. Sometimes they'll bring in 2 tight ends and go double tight, that sort of stuff to be able to add the extra gap. But you're going to mostly see 1 split end, 1 tight end.
On second down, call it 4. This is Ziegler. Churning up through the middle, gets the first down and then some, out to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 9.
A lot of intricacies go into running the wing T, all right? Everybody says, well, it's old football, it's old-style football. Well, yes and no, okay? So there's a lot of timing that takes place with a lot of steps and a lot of angles and certain techniques that have to take place with that. Talking to Brett Indes before the game, he didn't go through a spring training, so his offense really didn't start hitting stride until after maybe the 3rd, 4th game of the season.
At the 42, they run a little jet sweep this time with Kitchen. He's got room to run out past the 40. still on his feet down to about the 30-yard line.
Well, that's another intricacy that you see.
Check
in the
that. That's actually Wall.
That's the wingback.
Correct. On that jet sweep.
You'll see the jet sweep right here. They're going to fake the dive, then they'll give it to the jet sweep to the wingback in timing right there. Then there's your fake till you dive. Getting a guard out front, blocking out there on the edge by the wide receiver, and he's off to the races down the boundary.
Dragged down from behind, and Lakeshore in business right now at the Franklinton 31-yard line. On first down, fullback, Kitchen to about the 24-yard line, and they are moving this Franklinton front at will right now early on, Wade.
Well, they're running right at him. They're being physical. If you notice with the tight end and the tackle, there's kind of a nasty split right there, and they're fitting the slot back right into that little nasty split so he can get up and isolate onto the linebacker. Now the wingback is real tight to the tight end there, the tackle in a slot.
From the 24, toss sweep this time, and that is once again the fullback Kitchen. First down.
Kitchen's nice size player, 180-pound sophomore. He's going to run physical.
Yeah, 86 carries on the year, 445 yards coming in.
Safety comes from the center of the field. That was Colin Williams coming downhill from his safety position to make a nice tackle right there on the boundary. He was fitting into the alley like a good free safety should do. So what do you do when you see your free safety flying up to the line of scrimmage like that? You run play action pass behind him.
So Lakeshore in the red zone. You can hear just how much the wind is blowing on our crowd mic out there. Give it away to the fullback, and the best defensive play tonight thus far by Franklinton is Banyan Penton, the senior linebacker, steps up and hits the fullback Kitchen for no gain.
Banyan Penton does a nice job right there, stepping right into that isolation hole. They miss a block up front, and he steps right around it, the missed block, and makes a beautiful tackle. 6 foot, 195-pound senior linebacker. They had senior night here at Franklinton. Everybody got some flowers to give to their parents and all that type of stuff. That's great for those seniors.
On 2nd and 10. Well defended that time against Ziegler, who gets about 2. You talk about Colby Ziegler a little bit, Wade, and Brent Indest had a lot of positive things to say about him, but he has been the guy. 1,914 all-purpose yards this year. That's an average of over 200 a game. He's got 1,200 on the ground. He's got 387 receiving, and he also runs back kicks and punts.
Right, and, Brent Indest said the other thing is that he's kind of deceptive with his speed. There's your jet sweep again.
On 3rd and 8. He will be brought down short of the line to gain, but this is looking like 4-down territories. That was Wall once again on the carry. Get it to about the 12.
Well, 4-down territory, kicking into a 90-mile-per-hour southeast wind.
And without your starting kicker as well. Aiden Shelton, their starting kicker, they've had a bit of a flu outbreak on campus. Sheldon is one of the guys that's out. We're going to see Mason Gegenheimer handle the kicking duties. So here's the Wildcat look on 4th and 2. And it looks like Ziegler was stopped short. Once again, that was Penton jumping in to blow that up. So basically, they lined up Ziegler and the Wildcat with 3 blockers in front of him that time, and Franklinton handled it well and needed 2. He only got 1, and Franklinton's going to take over on downs.
Look at the penetration by the purple jerseys coming off the edge right there was Penton again. Look at that. Nice job banging everything up in the backfield, and the Wildcat kind of got shut down right at the line of scrimmage.
So Franklinton will take over on offense at its 11-yard line after the big 4th down stop. We get our first look at Zion Anders and the Franklinton offense. Brought down after a gain of about 2. That was Micah Hart on the carry.
Well, Guy LeCompte's going to spread everything on you, right? So you're going to see a whole different offensive philosophy from Franklinton as far as the way they're going to attack a defense. They're going to spread you out, wide receivers. They're going to be in a shotgun. They're going to go different tempos. They're going to try to mix in the RPOs. They're going to throw the ball vertically as well as horizontally.
Now they'll bring a receiver in motion. Now 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Quarterback handles the high snap, and he'll run with it. got about 3. Anders has rushed for, as we mentioned, 248 yards, about 4 a carry, and 6 touchdowns. So now it's 3rd and 5, and a big third down opportunity right here early in this football game for Franklinton.
Well, they're going to look at you and see exactly how you're going to play all their spread formations, right? Are you going to give them man? Are you going to give them zone? Are you going to mix things up? Are you going to bring blitzes? They're going to count the box.
And now they're empty, so 5 receivers.
There you go. So now they're counting the box.
And a whistle before this one can get underway, and I believe we've got a Lakeshore timeout. They didn't like something there with that empty look, and Brent Indes decides he wants a timeout. It gives us a chance to remind you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Ochsner Sports Medicine Institute, treating more than 30,000 athletes a year with innovative treatments for sports injuries. Visit oxner.org/sportsmed to learn more. All right, so Lakeshore drives 60-plus yards, comes up empty. Now Franklinton has had it for 2 plays, and they're sitting here 3rd and 5, and a big third down early in this game. After you get that 4th down stop on defense, the thing you don't want to do, Wade, is turn around and go 3 and out, put your defense that was out there for, 9 plays on the opening series, going back out there on defense that quickly.
No, and you want to also take advantage of the wind at your back right here. So, you're in a philosophy where you like to throw the football down the field right here, so this is definitely something that's manageable for them, where they're going to look to get the receiver matched up on the proper defensive back that they want and try to exploit that.
On 3rd and 5, I think a long 5, close to 6. Play action, quarterback keeps it, and he will get the first down. Nice play by Anders, nice read, saw an opening, and got 8.
Well, never mind. When you got Zion Anders with his legs like that, they run the zone read, and he keeps the ball off the right side of their offensive line, and he picks it up. Here's your zone read look right here. He's reading the last guy right over there on the line of scrimmage, and he just brings it right up inside, and he bounds down for the first down and moves the chains for the Demons.
At the 24 now. One thing I always hear coaches say when you're backed up, really sometimes in the shadow of your goalpost right there. High snap. Anders, terrific athletic play just to haul it in, and he's brought down in the backfield. That was James Giesland from his strong side linebacker position. Came in with 3 tackles for loss, 42 tackles. Will get one there for a loss of 6 on the play.
Well, what an athletic play right there by Anders, right? He does a nice job saving that. That could have been a catastrophe. Nice vertical leap, young man.
High snap like that, by the way, if you like to follow statistically, that doesn't get charged to quarterback. That gets charged to the team. There's your play action. First pass of the night is caught. Still on his feet and now out past the 30-yard line. That is Kelly Daniels, the leading receiver for this Franklinton offense. 34 catches on the year. That's number 35. Over 700 yards. He averages 20.8 yards every time he touches the football, Wade.
Yeah, he's
for 5 touchdowns. And, by the way, when he runs the ball, he's run it 8 times for 144 yards. So he is a threat to go the distance every time he touches the ball.
He is electric, and he's one of the guys that you're going to use in your RPO game, which is what they did right there. They read the numbers out there that were around Kelly Daniels, and they saw that they had the numbers. So what do? You zip the ball out there to him real quick off the fake and let him get the yardage needed.
Yep, 3rd and 3 now at the 31. Anders looking, taking a shot down the field. Got a man in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Kelly Daniels, who found the seam down the near sideline.
Double move. All right, rail by the inside receiver, which was Daniels. Ball just overthrown. You can see it right here. Here comes the rail right there. See number 2, which is Colin Williams coming back for the fake off the RPO, and they're going to try to hit the rail down the sidelines. Just overthrown.
So this is Partman on to handle the kicking duties, and that is... If that didn't go out of bounds, that got a nice friendly roll, and now we'll be down to the 24-yard line, a 45-yard punt. He kicked it towards the near sideline, as it were, and it just took a great roll. You'll see it again here, just, as the the return man let it go and checks up on one bounce at the 24-yard line. So 45 yards on the punt, and that's where Lakeshore will take over with 4:07 remaining in the quarter. The ball at their own 24-yard line. There it is again.
Oh, there you
Look
go.
at that. That
Nice.
thing just,
Checked
had
up
a
and
little
released.
side spin on it.
Checked up and released.
24-yard line.
Nicely defended, but trying to bounce it outside. May have gotten a yard out of it. Colby Ziegler is being bottled up early on here by this Franklinton defense.
Well, they were trying to get the kick out on the defensive end, right? Defensive end bottles everything up by knocking down the lead blocker. Everything gets bounced back, and up comes the secondary support. And you have a ton of purple jerseys up there right at the line of scrimmage saying hello to Ziegler. He didn't have anywhere to go. What do you have to do to loosen that up a little bit? Got to throw a little play action. Got to mix some play action in with that.
And they've run it 10 times thus far. They can throw the football. Willie's a 60% completion passer. And he will throw it here on 2nd and 9, but no, he is taken down. Ball may have come out. Franklinton says they've got it. Let's wait for the signal. It is Demon football. And once again, it's Penton in the middle of all the action there.
Here's your play action off of Waggle. Waggle look right there. He's looking for the wide receiver, throwing post behind the safety.
That was Andre Calais who came up with the forced fumble.
And then Penton falls right on the forced fumble. Big turnover. Franklinton's in business in Lakeshore territory.
The 25-yard line. It'll go officially as no gain on the play. The ball rolled forward.
I like taking a strike right now to the end zone with the wind behind me. You can throw it right down there and see if you can't get the big play.
On 1st down. Give it away. And that is, once again, Micah Hart on a carry. Will get a couple.
And they didn't bring him down until right there in the end. He's still up and churning.
Flag on the play.
And we had a flag. It's against Lakeshore. I missed the indication there.
The Lakeshore Titans.
It's a personal foul against Lakeshore.
Our official association tonight out of Hammond.
Our referee this evening is Charlie Ackerman. 6-man crew tonight. So with the penalty, you can put it at the 11-yard line. Can make a 1st down without getting a touchdown. Hart bounces it. Flag comes in. He comes up just short of the end zone, but I think this is coming back. Wade, that was in the direction of holding.
Yeah, they're going to probably get the wide receiver out on the boundary with a hold. Great job by Lakeshore defense right there. They cram everything up inside right there off tackle for Hart. Hart has no place to go, and Hart's got some wheels now. He bounces that thing outside, gets onto the edge, just had that holding penalty out there. It sprung him down the boundary. I guess when you hold somebody, they can't get off. Let's see if we can see it.
Holding against the Demons.
Yeah, that may have been, that might have been one of those offensive linemen that had sprung out there. And it'll be 1st down and 19. Shot down the middle. Pass is incomplete as Daniels had it for a split second but could not, as they say, complete the catch.
2nd down, Demons.
Well, he had a step on the defender on Grant Cogan right there, the corner, and Grant Cogan gave him a nice shot as the ball was coming right in there for the receiver to catch it. Let's see if we can see it on the replay right here. Post route off of play action. Nicely done. Ball's delivered well. Bang, right there.
Yep. Just couldn't bring it in.
Couldn't bring it in.
Had his hands on it, but
all right.
Like you said, good defense.
Look, Daniels had a nice route, and he had a step and just couldn't bring it in. Those got to get catch in big games, right? You got to catch those things, especially down here. You don't know how many times you're going to have that shot down here tonight, especially with the wind at your back.
2nd down and long. Give it away. And a couple of yards on the carry by Hart. They'll put it down at the 18-yard line.
Nice tackle by Jared Roberson that time. 5'9", 185-pound Willie linebacker, outside linebacker. Comes in with 47 tackles on the season.
Gain of about 3.
So it'll be
Third down, 15.
It'll be third down.
Ball is on the Lakeshore 19-yard line.
Call it 17. The ball at the 18-yard line. We saw Franklinton kicker knocking them through from beyond 50 with the wind at his back, so they're certainly in field goal range. Here's that little tunnel screen. And Daniels will not get near the sticks there. He got about 4 on that play. And it'll be fourth down.
Here's the action off the tunnel screen. Daniels coming right underneath those offensive linemen getting out there, and everything gets kind of jacked up by the guys in silver and black, which is going to force this field goal now.
All right, so Cade Levine will come on to attempt a 32-yard field goal. Low snap, handled, kick on the way, plenty of leg, and it is good. With 1:01 to play in the first quarter, we have our first score of the night. Your new score is Franklinton 3 and Lakeshore nothing, as the Demons capitalize off the Titan turnover.
Well, that had a lot of leg on it, and he had the wind behind him, but he's got a nice leg now. Action was good, got it up in the air, and just it took off, and great kick.
Congratulations, you make the field goal. Now you got to go out and kick it again, kick off. But that's always a good thing. What do coaches always say? You want every possession to end in a kick, either a field goal, an extra point, or a punt. Well, you're not turning the ball over.
Well, yes, that would be optimal.
Preferably the field goal and the extra point, but otherwise you want the punt, and ideally, if you got a good punter, to go pin a team back.
You just don't want to be kicking off or punting after a safety.
No, that's it. All right, so Levine to kick it off. And this one will reach the end zone for a touchback. So Lakeshore will take over at its 20. They've started the first possession at the 27, the second one at the 24. This one will begin at the 20-yard line. So if you're Brent Indest and company, what are you looking at right here on this third possession besides hang on to the football?
Well, I still think he's got to come out and mix in some play-action pass off of his run game, right? He's got to loosen up that secondary, which is crimping and inching and moving and sliding down in the box. Right now they're inside 10 yards of line of scrimmage.
On first down, pass is incomplete. Tried to get it to Ziegler that time. And like we mentioned, they'll do a lot with Ziegler. We saw him in the Wildcat. They'll split him out wide on occasion. Obviously, they'll hand him the football, but he is a guy you've got to get the ball with his hands, and they really haven't done too much of that thus far, Wade. He carried the ball for 9 yards the first time he touched it. He's only got 4 yards on his next 3 carries.
Well, look, even though that's overthrown right there, it's play-action pass, right? So what now is going through the minds of those DBs as they're lining up is they can't throw the football. And here we go again with waggle action.
And they're going to run the football with the quarterback this time, and he's got plenty of room down the sidelines and is pushed out of bounds near the 40-yard line. That's one thing when you're defending all the different aspects of the wing tee in that offense. If you're running true option, the quarterback can sometimes, pitch the football, but Willie's not a guy who's run the ball an awful lot, but he puts it down right here and says, wait, I got room to run. Let me point out my blockers.
Well, you read it from low to high, and if you've got grass, you always teach your quarterback to run on that waggle, okay? But what that does is that controls that secondary.
82 yards on the ground thus far for Lakeshore. Nothing doing at that time as Kitchen might have lost a yard.
And he was brought down by Timothy Partman, the linebacker. They try to run quick trap inside. They don't get the trap on the down lineman, and the linebacker gets a clear, nice look to step right underneath the trap block and make a nice tackle.
See the clock winding down, under 20 seconds. Play clock doesn't appear to be operating here, so presume they're keeping that on the field, but I think there's enough time that they may have to get this play off before the quarter ends. Play action. Quarterback's going to put it down and go again, and he's going to get another first down. Out across midfield, dives forward to the Franklinton 47 on the final play of the first quarter. So Samuel Willie showing you his legs right now. Gains of 19 and 15 on this drive. And we'll switch ends. 12 minutes in the books. Franklinton looking for a share of the District 8 4A championship, leading Lakeshore after 3-0. You're watching high school football from Crescent City Sports.
And there you have your first quarter of action tonight. Demons 3, Lakeshore 0. Hey. Again, we'd like to recognize and thank our stadium sponsors, and money raised by these local businesses help fund maintenance and improvements in Demon Stadium, as well as projects for the Franklinton High School Demon football team. As they are local, do your best to support them, and let's keep our community strong and growing. Children's Hospital, Atlas Chevrolet, Williams Family Pharmacy, Schultz Physical Therapy, McGee Financial, All the Time Janitorial, LLC, Tyler Ross Jewelers, Resource Bank, Good Samaritan Living Center, B&T Seafood, Glenn's Drive-In, Riverside Medical Center, Fair City Truck Stop, Sonic Drive-In, Crane Fuel Home, Washington St. Tammany Engine.
Second quarter gets underway. We didn't have to switch ends too much there. Lakeshore moving right to left now from the Franklinton 47. And they'll get about 5 on first down as that was Kitchen on the carry.
Fullback belly to the weak side. All clogged up inside, so what does he do? He bounces it to the outside. There's your lead block. There's your X block, and there he goes. Nothing inside. Good backs will bounce that ball. There was no filler by the safety to come up and fit on that, so he's going to pick up 5-6 yards.
Now, what is Willie's running in those passing situations to open up this offense as well?
Makes him a threat. Makes him a threat out on the edge. The waggle is also a counter. It's a pass play. It can be used as both.
They lined up Ziegler on the wing that time, ran the jet sweep with him. He got about 3, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
You know, we'll see them run waggle again. It's probably their number one play action pass. Willie will get out there on the edge. So as the threat, as you said, Lenny, he'll end up threatening that secondary by either using his arm or using his legs. Everything flows one way. He goes the other way with the backs and receivers running with him. That's waggle action.
Ball's at the 39. Trying to get it to the 37. And falling forward is Ziegler.
Ziegler on the carry.
And I think they're going to move the chains here.
Yeah,
Gain of 2, right at it, first down.
Right, wing tee football is kind of like Veer football, right? It's like Novocaine. I'll say this all the time when we see those Veer teams, especially like John Curtis and Acadiana, those folks, they're just going to run this and run this and run this certain play until somebody's going to make a mistake, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're popped a running back running through the secondary. It's 6 points. There's always a play-action pass off of every play you have in your offense.
Of course, we want to remind you to check out our All-State Sugar Bowl scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com. Here's a score of interest. Catholic League title on the line tonight. Late first quarter, Carr 19, Curtis nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Carr has come out and made an early statement.
Yes, they have.
Led by
very talented football team.
No doubt.
Gain of 2, call it second down.
I believe that was Kitchen on the carry that time, got a couple. Are they just going to continue to grind this out? That's the thing you mentioned, the Novocaine thing, but
right.
They really are going to grind it on you.
Yeah, they're going to grind.
3 or 4 yards is a great play in this offense.
3.5, 3 first down. Right, so I think my math's right.
That only got 2, but flags before this one can get underway. Let's see what this is all about. Is there motion up front?
Yeah. There you go. I think an offensive lineman had decided to get moving a little too soon.
So Lakeshore started this drive at the 20. They've moved it now. It's backed up to the Franklinton 40. This has all happened in the course of 8 plays. But for the first time, they find themselves really behind the stick, second down and 13.
And that's a problem. You can't be off schedule with this, right? You've got to be inside of those sticks, not outside.
Pass, quarterback was hit as he threw and very nearly intercepted. That was up there for an eternity. Tamarian Partman had a hand on that one, but couldn't bring it in. Yeah,
should have picked it right there.
We'll get another look at it here, Wade.
Tell you what, they're going to be looking at this
and you're going to see the hit.
Oh, hello. Ball's thrown up in the air, and Partman had his chance.
Tredell Causey is the one who delivered the hit.
All the cousins going to be sitting around Thanksgiving Day looking back at this telecast, and they're going to be all over Mr. Partman. They're saying, dude, needed to catch that ball right here. Oh, right in his hands.
Yeah. All right, so 3rd and 13. Certainly 4-down territory here. Here's that little counter-looking play there, and with Ziegler on the carry, hoping to pop something, but they got about 6. And now it's going to be 4th down and 7.
Like it. Counter. Sometimes they call a counter crisscross when you do the double handoff. Fullback Phil, give it to the halfback coming around the other way. Sometimes they'll hand it to the back that was in motion, and then he'll hand it to the halfback.
Seen that certainly over the years.
Then they'll run counter with a tackle trap off.
And they're gonna punt here on 4th down and 7. Look to punt and play defense.
Lakeshore Titans.
Luke Horner handles the punting duties, gets this one away. Let's see, it's going to take a hop into the end zone, so you only net 14 out of it. That's the unfortunate part. And Franklinton's going to take over with 8:11 remaining in the second quarter and a 3-0 lead. Tonight's coverage of Crescent City Sports brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more. All done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason.
Must be a reason.
By the way, stay with us at halftime. Ken Trahan visits with our friend Ronnie Lamarck. Not while enjoying some popcorn.
Well, hopefully he'll be singing, right?
Yeah, we'll get him. We may get a little singing out of Ronnie here at halftime. Stay with us. You'll have to find out. So from the 20, bad snap, and the quarterback's going to manage to get it out of there, and that was in the direction of a receiver. So I believe that was Daniel Bryant that was out there. A good heads-up play on his part.
Second down, Demons.
Well,
that saves 2 points. But heads up on the part of, you see that slot receiver right there was supposed to be blocking Bryant, and he's the one that it's in his direction, and turns out to be no gain. That could have been a disaster. That could have been 2 points on the board for Lakeshore and the ball back.
Well, you got to get that snap down. This is going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah,
if you're doing it now in week 10.
Yeah, that's a couple of bad snaps thus far. He made a terrific athletic play just to handle one, and this time he's going to be pushed out of bounds as he kept it, and it's going to be 3rd down and long. Loss on the play.
Landon Schlink does a nice job from his safety position coming up there and setting the edge and getting the back to get knocked out of bounds. Here he comes, right there, fights off the block. Nicely done.
On the Demon 18-yard line.
Look, you got to get. This is week 10. You can't snap the ball over your quarterback's head. You're going into the playoffs next week. You know, it's detrimental that gets worked out.
Whistles, and I believe we've got timeout called by Guy LeCompte to talk about this one on 3rd down and 12 with 7.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. We mentioned that Carr Curtis game. That's got district championship implications. So, too, does the game down in Thibodaux between St. James and E.D. White. E.D. White is off to a 14-6 lead in the first quarter of that one.
Well, that E.D. White team is a good football team.
No report yet on St. Charles Catholic and Newman. That's another game that is a district championship deciding game.
In a great Week 10, you've got all these games that are being decided on the last week of the regular season. How exciting is that? Just seems like the other day, Lenny, we were doing a Lanyap, week one, doing a Lanyap game with overtime.
So it'll be 3rd down and 12 as we resume.
Again, 3rd down, 12 for the Demons at their own 18-yard line.
Anders down the middle. That's a nice play in defense by Giesland. I think he might have got a hand on that, Wade, as that was Bryant coming across trying to bring it in, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, if he didn't get a hand on it, he definitely got into the lane, the throwing lane for the receiver here. You can see Lakeshore's rushing 3 right there. And, absolutely. It looks like he got a hand on that right at the last second as he was coming from his linebacker position over to cover the square in.
So it'll be 4th and 12. Now Franklinton's got a punt into the wind this time. Still a pretty good kick, but it's going to check up the wrong way, and they'll have to quickly get over and down this at the 41-yard line. There was a flag down, I believe. Or was that just a beanbag when they downed it? Let's see. They're talking about it. Yeah, I think there is a flag. Holding is the call against Lakeshore, so this is going to be a post-possession foul, after the ball was kicked. So Lakeshore 10 yards from the end of the kick, which is going to put them back. Instead of operating from the 41, well, where are they going here? He's standing at the, now they're going to move it back. Okay. They've got some eye in the sky up here. They get a little help from the press box because they're all on microphones. So put it down at the 49-yard line.
First down, Lakeshore.
Best field position by far tonight for Lakeshore. On first down, nothing doing for Ziegler.
Backside pursuit caught up to Ziegler there, coming off of the Lakeshore left edge.
Led by number 38 to Michael.
They've handled Ziegler thus far. Came in averaging 8.2 yards a carry. Tonight he's got 8 carries for 24 yards.
There's 38 to Michael Ward coming from his defensive line position from the opposite side of where they were trying to attack the Franklinton's left side of the defense.
Play action on second down. There's that waggle you talked about, and this time they get Ziegler out on a route, and it's caught for a first down.
Flow goes one way, receivers go the other. Quarterback goes with the receivers. He has the option to throw or pass. He usually gets 2 guards out in front of him to give him protection. Those guards can turn into run blockers or they can stay as pass blockers. It's a great play. There's a lot of facets, a lot of intricacies to waggle pass.
So from the Franklinton 40, whistles before this can get underway.
I think somebody started a little too soon again.
No, it's offside against Franklinton.
Okay, so they stopped the play. Purple jersey in the neutral zone.
And that, again, that's if you're just not familiar with high school football, that's part of it. As soon as you get an entry into the neutral zone, the play is blown dead. You don't get a chance to go back like you would see on the college and pro levels. So 1st and 5 at the 35-yard line. It's Ziegler again on the jet sweep, and once again, not much doing. You got to give the Demon defense a lot of credit for how they are trying to bottle up Ziegler thus far tonight.
Well, they're doing a great job from the secondary, right? They're coming down with great run support. They're getting there and turning everything in to their inside-out pursuit.
Ball on the Demon 34-yard line.
That's the reason why somehow as an offense, a wing T offense, you've got to be able to loosen those safeties up. Look at them right now. They're within 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. 7.
Yeah, 2nd and 4. Fullback's got it with room to run. Still on his feet out near the 20-yard line. That's going to be Kitchen for the first down.
Quick trap. Fullback trap inside off the buck action where they fake the halfback also. Let's see if you can see the pulling guard for the trap. There he is. Right there. Bang. Great trap block. Nicely done. That was number 57, Bryce Lejeune, junior guard. Oh, I love those trap blocks, right? Whew.
So put it at the 20-yard line. And Kitchen has actually gained more yards tonight than Ziegler has. Now it's Ziegler with nowhere to go and is bottled up in the backfield for a big loss. And the ball may have come out at the end. Let's see. No, they're gonna blow it dead.
I think they're gonna blow that dead. And number 5, Khalid
Waliaga, yeah.
Thank you. I even have it written down here. Did a nice job chasing that down and finally cleaning up Ziegler.
He was in on it. I tell you what. That his forward progress was stopped there, Wade, but that ball definitely came out before he hit the ground.
Either that or it was a very quick whistle.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15 at the 25. It's now 10 carries for 20 yards for Ziegler. Play action, down the middle, pass is caught, and touchdown Lakeshore.
There's the waggle solid, throwback to the tight end. That looked like that was Tyson Wall.
Yep, Tyson Wall with his 4th catch of the year and his 1st touchdown of the year. Just right over the top. Nicely done.
Willie, instead of getting out on the edge and pressing the edge, he sets up right inside. Great protection by the offensive line. Looks backside. Actually, that's the wingback Wall, and he throws it out there. Do you see how these behind the safeties got frozen for a minute off the play action pass?
All right, Gegenheimer on to try to make it a 7-3 game, and the kick is good.
Kicking up, and it is good.
Mason Gegenheimer gets the kicking duties tonight. Their number 1 kicker, Sheldon, is out. As we said earlier, there's a flu bug going around Lakeshore High School, and Mason Gegenheimer, the 2nd-string kicker, is pressed into service tonight.
6 plays, 51 yards. It took 3 minutes and 11 seconds, capped off by that 25-yard pass. Willie to Wall. And Lakeshore leads for the first time tonight, 7-3, with 4:02 to play here in the first half.
Well, there's your play action pass, right? You've got to be able to throw the ball a little bit downfield to get those free safeties kind of set up, right? And now, right now over on the sidelines, those safeties are sitting there going in their minds, how exactly should they proceed?
Deep returner for the Demons.
Loosen them up a little bit, you run the ball. Tighten them down, you throw the ball a little bit.
There's your kickoff. Return opportunity here. Franklinton's going to start with some good field position as Colin Williams gets it out near the 40-yard line.
Colin Williams.
So with 3:57 to play in the quarter, Franklinton will go to work at the 38-yard line. And remember, they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. So this is a big drive in this game. You go down and get points before the half. Yeah. Sean Payton always loved to talk about the opportunity, trying to, double up here. That the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half, how big that was. Play action on first down. Pass is caught. And first down yardage, as that is Daniel Bryan, who came in averaging 20.3 yards a catch, 20th catch of the year for the senior.
Lakeshore still rushing 3, playing zone. He sits down right in the zone in the middle, 2 linebackers, catches the ball and gets north and south.
So from midfield, pass, caught and room to run. 35, 30, out near the 25-yard line goes Connor McGee, the sophomore,
Big play.
I don't think you could come to Franklinton without having a McGee on the roster, Wade.
Never. I mean, it's a common name right up here in North Washington Parish. McGee all around Franklinton. They've had so many McGees come through here. Great football players. And we've got another McGee catching that right in the zone again, dropping 8. Lakeshore is just sitting there in zone 8 deep, and they're picking it apart.
Gain of 25. And just like that, Franklinton's in business at the Lakeshore 25-yard line.
Here comes blitz.
They're going to give it away, and room to run, and with nobody in between him and the end zone, Micah Hart strolls in from 25 yards out, and just like that, Franklinton regains the lead.
Lakeshore decides to put some pressure on right. Let's bring a blitz. What happens? They get the blitz picked up, and you run right past the blitz. You live with the blitz, you can die by the blitz. Right, there it is. Look at that, nobody there. He's running around in the secondary. Great blitz pickup by Franklinton's offensive line.
Kick is no good. So it'll remain a 9-7 game.
You score Demons 9, Lakeshore 7.
Now that's a point that could come back to haunt you sometime.
So 3 plays, 62 yards, needed just a minute 12. First 37 through the air and a couple of passes by Anders. And then Micah Hart burned the blitz with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year from 25 yards out. And just like that, the Demons have regained the lead.
You know, everybody says, well, you got to get pressure on him. You got to blitz. You got to blitz. Well, that's great. That's fine. It's what you do behind the blitz, right? And I'm talking about the third level, the secondary. Do you sit there and play zone? Do you man up with it? What do you do behind the blitz? Well, that time behind the blitz, Lakeshore sat in zone. Safeties were gone. Everything was open, and it just gave a clear path for Micah Hart just to walk into the end zone. It's not as easy as just blitzing.
Kickoff is going to hit the ground. This is a free ball, and Franklinton has the football at the 18-yard line. They found a gap in that cover of the kickoff unit of Lakeshore, and it dropped in there. Nobody was home. Take another look at it, Wade. It just drops right in front of the return men, and who comes up with the football? That is 33, Daniil Anders, the sophomore linebacker, making a big play in special teams, and Franklinton's got the football back down deep.
We were just talking to Brett Indest about that, how that they've had problems with that all year. You've got to catch that football. You can even put a fair catch hand up to catch that kickoff.
Hard on first down, will get about 3.
Tripped up by Robertson.
Special teams, week 10.
On the play.
Those things have got to be smooth at this stage of the game, at this stage of the season. You can't go into the playoffs still making issues and having issues with your special teams.
And both of these teams are going to the playoffs. When we get a break here, Wade, we're going to talk about just the implications of what tonight means. Because there's obviously a district championship is on the line, but from a playoff perspective, and so much of it, as you mentioned, has become, more about playoffs and less about district titles. Pass, incomplete, drilled in there beautifully. That was Daniel Bryant, the intended receiver, and Anders threw a missile in there, but nice coverage that time as Lakeshore broke it up, as that was Gavin Stein, the cornerback. He's got a couple interceptions on the year, got a hand in there, and made sure that was not completed. And now it's 3rd down and 7 at the 15.
We saw that post route earlier in the game, right? Delivered nicely on time, but great defensive play by Stein, getting his play side hand in between the receiver and the ball.
Well, screen pass this time. It is well defended by the Titans. They tried to get it to Hart, and quickly there in coverage. That was Mitchell Battaglia, the nose guard, along with Nathan Miller from his rover spot in there to defend this very, very well.
I love to see those nose guards getting out there on the edge making tackles. Nice job by Battaglia, huffing and puffing and getting out there and getting a piece of that tackle, right? Get your name in the stat books, right? Good job, big man.
It's a loss of 3, and now it's 4th and 10, and Franklinton's going to go for it right here with 1:20 and counting left in the first half.
Lakeshore still staying with that 3-man rush up front. They got burned by the blitz. I don't know if they're going to even come back to any type of blitz.
All right, let's. We mentioned the impact of this one, Wade. Let's take a look at exactly what this means in terms of playoff positioning. We'll take a look at the power rankings on the Division II non-select side. And we'll get more at halftime into exactly what's going to happen this year. As you can see, Lakeshore comes into Week 10 13th. Franklinton comes in 17th. Now, here's what you need to know. Those top 4 seeds, if they hold, they're getting first-round byes. The seeds 5 through 16 host first-round playoff games. So a Franklinton win likely moves them up. And the other thing, right above them, right above Franklinton, you look at Albany, and we'll get into that at 16, exactly what happened there. As Guy LeCompte changes his mind, they're going field goal here. Kick is on the way. Kick is good. Levine drills it from 34 yards out, or 35 yards out, I should say. And
5-yard field goal. It is up and good.
So Franklinton gets points coming off of the muff kickoff.
Look, that had a lot of room.
It did.
And to the wind. Nicely done by that young man. Great kick. But you're right. You looked at those playoff brackets. There's a lot on the line here. And you say, well, they're going to be in the playoffs. That's all great and fine. You want to play at home in the playoffs, right? You don't want to have to get on a bus and go somewhere clear across the state depending on who you match up with. If you can get that home playoff game, you want it, right? It's also revenue. It's revenue for your band. It's revenue for your athletic department. It's revenue for your football program. So you want that home playoff game, no doubt. So, that's what Franklinton's staring at right there.
Yeah, they've got a chance to move up and be at home. Now, we mentioned Albany at 16. Of course, there was an issue a few weeks ago at Bogalusa, unfortunately, and Albany, rather than travel to Bogalusa for a potential district championship game, elected to forfeit that game. So they are almost certainly going to drop from 16. This kickoff back to about the 3-yard line, and a little bit of room at first, but it's quickly bottled up and out to about the 25-yard line. I believe that's Ziegler on the return that time.
And you're right about the deal in Bogalusa. Unfortunate incident. Albany wanted to play
at a neutral
site. I think 3 out of the 5 people in the district, the principal said that would be okay. Go ahead and play at a neutral site.
And then
the LHSA came back and said, hey, no, you need to go ahead and play in Bogalusa. I think their security and everything's going to be good and it's going to be fine. Albany elected not to go play. So they will forfeit, and that's definitely going to shake things up above the where Franklinton is in as of tonight right now in the playoff bracket.
So with 1:03 to play, let's see how Lakeshore chooses to operate. Pass is incomplete, and a flag will come in. That was intended for Jaden Wells, who we haven't really called his name tonight. Elijah Tate was out there in coverage that time, and it looked like they were tied up a little bit. Wells, the deep threat for this Lakeshore team, 29 catches on the year, 620 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Pass interference against the defense, of course, in high school and college, that is a 15third penalty.
And not an automatic first down.
But it will be a first down here.
Correct. Yeah. Well, look right here. They're out of the waggle action again. You got the wide receiver going vertical, and Elijah Tate gets a little handsy right there towards the end as the ball's approaching. They're going to get the interference penalty. That's going to get called every time when you're that handsy with the ball in the air.
So put it at the 40 now with 56 seconds remaining in the half. Play action. Pass is incomplete. Once again was looking for Wells. A little pump fake from Willie that time, trying to hopefully get the double move going there. And nothing doing. It'll be second down.
A little hitch and go, out and up, whatever you want to call it. Sluggo, maybe if it was off the slant and go. Trying to loosen them up right there against the man coverage. Franklin covering the one wide receiver from Lakeshore in man coverage, and he was right there step for step. That time, no interference.
Give it away on second down, and Kitchen on the carry will get about 4.
Kitchen running the quick trap again. We saw that earlier.
Now they'll go without a huddle.
What's the guard pull? See if we get it. They're going quick again.
Run the counter this time, trying to bounce it outside now. Ziegler looked like he might have had a hole for a moment, but it closed up quickly at the 47-yard line, and a flag comes in at the end of the play with 20 seconds remaining. Let's see what this is all about.
Flag on the play.
A lot of pursuit by the Demons getting there to Ziegler. Ziegler really didn't have any place to go. It was all bottled up. Probably going to have some sort of face mask maybe as the pile was pulling him down.
And I believe it's going to be on Lakeshore, judging by the reactions here. No, it's going to be face mask.
Face mask against the Demons.
So if this goes from the spot of the foul from the end of the run, that's going to make it a first down. And put the football at the 48-yard line of Franklinton.
5-yard penalty.
Well, with wind at his back, it's going to be interesting to see if the Titans and Brett Indes try to take one shot, see if Willie will be able to throw that ball up in the air and let the wind take it maybe and run under it.
Okay, let's see. They ran the clock after the penalty. Let's see if they put time back on it. They will reset it to 20 seconds.
Okay, so they also still have 2 timeouts, so they've got a few options here. 2 wide receivers now, opening it up, shotgun.
Willie looking, doesn't have a man. He's going to put it down and go. Out past the 40, that could be, and it will be, a penalty for a horse collar tackle.
Right.
And that's going to add on to the end of this, and that's going to put Lakeshore within some great striking distance here.
That should be horse collar, definitely. Not a late hit out of bounds.
Horse collar against the Demons.
There it is. Now, Lakeshore's bread and butter isn't throwing the ball vertical, right?
No,
that's not their bread and butter.
So, although, look, this is
right.
This is not your normal Brennan Des team. Like we mentioned, Willie's got over 1,200 yards passing.
And a lot of that has been off that play action passing. So that time when you go shotgun verticals,
we got a timeout called.
It's a little bit different, and nothing was open downfield. So, Willie's smart. He sees everything's covered up, and he starts running, getting as much as he can. He gets down the boundary, and then he gets the horse collar tacked on. So everything works out nicely.
We'd like to thank our first half sponsors tonight, Sonic Drive-In and McGee Financial, always supporting Franklinton High School Demon football.
13 seconds, 2 timeouts.
Maybe 3 plays.
Maybe.
Certainly 2.
Definitely.
And you've got your timeout, and you've got the whole field in play. You don't have to get to the perimeter.
Don't have to get to the perimeter, and you can even run the ball once.
So from the 23. Pass in and out of the hands of Wells.
Willie's pass.
So that only took 3 seconds. You've still got 2 plays.
That's got to get caught. He catches that.
No doubt.
And he can get north and south. He could have probably gotten the first down right there. Had a lot of room out there, a lot of cushion.
School 23-yard line.
So at the 23, once again, second down and 10. 10 seconds on the clock. Willie trying to move his receivers around, incomplete. Wells kind of went on a shorter pattern, and Willie was like, say, get to the end zone.
Right. he runs a hitch, stops at about 6 to 7 yards, and he's telling them where to go. And the DBs from Franklinton wouldn't have anything of that, right? Elijah Tate out there all over that, understanding the time on the clock and where the ball is and where the end zone is.
Timeout Lakeshore here with 3 seconds. You'll take one shot here. And I would think if this was
Timeout on the field, Lakeshore High School.
with a healthy kicker, you might take a shot at the field goal right now and try to make it a 12-10 game. But again, with your starting kicker out, now Gegenheimer did successfully make the extra point, but asking him to go out and try a 40-yard field goal may be something different right here.
Right.
So you take presumably one shot at the end zone.
Right, and I don't think Brent Indest is even thinking about anything about kicking a field goal here. He's trying to line up his best play to throw the ball at the end zone.
So remember, stay with us at halftime. Ken Trahan's going to visit with Ronnie Lamarck. Then we'll catch you up on some scores, talk about what's to come next week, as we are less than 48 hours away from the announcement of the playoff brackets.
In third down.
Oh, here's
so 3 receivers to the top, yeah.
3-yard line.
Willie rolls, fires, pass is in and out of the hands of his intended receiver right there. And I believe that was Wells once again. Yeah, just went right through his hands. You take another look here, Wade. Well, he's got you got defenders out there, but that's a play you got to make.
Okay, first thing did you see? You can't do that, all right? And that was number 19, Elijah Tate, comes underneath the receiver to make a play on the ball, right? You're not going to make that play. You better stay on the receiver and knock the ball down, because when you come under the receiver, exactly what's going to happen there. That ball is going to float right over the tip of your hands and right into the receiver's hands. He's very lucky Jaden Wells dropped that ball that hit him right in the hands.
No question about it. So we have come to halftime now, and Franklinton in this matchup for the District 8 4A championship, leading Lakeshore 12-7. Very thankful to Lamarck Ford and the Lamarck Automotive Complex for everything that they do supporting what it is that we do at Crescent City Sports. And earlier this week, Ken Trahan had a chance to catch up with the man behind everything that is the Lamarck Automotive Complex, the legend himself, Ronnie Lamarck.
Halftime here, and always a pleasure to be at the Lamarck Automotive Complex, because that means I have a chance to visit with the maestro, my good and great friend, my brother, Ronnie Lamarck. Great to see you. Most important question I have is, how's your wife on this special day?
This is Natasha's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Natasha. Happy birthday to you. And
That'll do it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. No, Ronnie, obviously these are good times for Lamarck Automotive Complex. You recently opened another entity in Jefferson. Talk about that.
Right. Crescent Ford on Jefferson Highway has been there for like 60, 70 years. And it was an opportunity for Ronnie Michael, my son, to be a dealer quicker. You know, he's a graduate of LSU, and he's married now, and she's getting, his wife, Amanda's getting her master's, and so great to have him. And he decided to come into the business. He didn't have to. He's very versatile. He did a lot of different things. He decided to be in the business. So anyway, it came available, and we wound up with the property. So we own the property, and we rent it to ourselves, and it's a beautiful location. It's in by Elmwood, and where all the commercial vehicles on that are, but we call it Lamarck Crescent City Ford. Not Crescent Ford, Lamarck Crescent City Ford, because we are the Crescent City. It's a great honor to have that, and also Lamarck Ford, and then, of course, Lamarck Lincoln, which is magnificent, and we always have Mercedes-Benz and Mobile. And I'm pretty much all done, Ken. We got about 275 employees. I'm blessed to know most of them by first name, and it's just a blessing with the ever-changing world, and those people know that out there. We don't know what tomorrow is with electric vehicles and all that, and you name it. We just got through Halloween. Now we're looking at Thanksgiving. So go ahead.
Yeah, so Lamarck Crescent City Ford,
right,
and Crescent City Sports. I kind of like the symmetry there. Look, with regard to the business, the question I get most often is, do you have enough in stock? Are you getting more vehicles in stock, both new and used?
Right now, because of the chip shortage, and everybody knows it, guys flipping hamburgers know this chip shortage is just totally amazing. What is planned after COVID, because we went through COVID, March 15, 2020, was the world coming to an end? We thought it was. I didn't know what was that. We just opened the LAC, the Lamarck Automotive Complex, in January 20th of 2020, and all of a sudden, COVID hits us, and then we go through chip shortages, and we're going through now a so-called recession, depression. That's they. Who are they, ladies and gentlemen? Who are they that's making this happen? Who's making rates go up? Who's making all these shortages and that? How come we can't have people go to work? Which got me, how can we not have more people go to work? Because we keep on expanding, called attrition, where we keep having more people come onto this earth that are babies, that are now growing up. And anyway, all I can tell you is we're here every day. We try to work the system. I don't know who they are, but I know who we are. We are going to do the best we can for the motoring public, and that's you.
Good. I'll order a vehicle today. Now, I've got my vehicles continuously from this dealership. Now, with regard to where everything is right now, I look back at that pandemic, and I saw what you did here at Lamarck Automotive, which is you never laid off one employee. You kept everyone at a time when most people were cutting back.
We expanded. We grew we worked at we was an essential business. We had to meet the motoring public, police cars, EMS vehicles, doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs. We had to do a lot of different things to keep this place going, and we had to sanitize, and it was an unbelievable experience, and I'm sure everybody at home's got that mask still sitting somewhere on that car door or whatever. We're resilient. Was a total resilient time, and now we have high school sports back again where kids are enjoying it, and I enjoyed it so much growing up. In fact, for me to be here today, your partner Lenny asked me that.
That was my next question, but go ahead.
Go ahead, ask it.
No, yeah. What high school sports did to form you as a person in a business world that you operate in today and as a human being?
Well, it gave you the foundation that when it gets tough in the business world, and if you're on the football field in any capacity, whether you started or not, the idea is that you were in an environment where you had to perform. You had to use every bit of energy you had in your body. Back when I remember the tour days, it was amazing. You do it in the morning and you do it in the evening, and you lose like 20 pounds during this period of time. You're raw bone. I mean, you're doing it. We didn't have weights back then, but it was so gutting to me. But when I have a tough day or whatever, I think back, other than the Lord, because I put it all on him now with his wisdom that he gave King Solomon, I have to get the inner strength to take the next step, because I went through it, and it's still implanted in my brain what sports did to me. Also, I played baseball, so I had football and baseball. And I was a pretty good pitcher. I know I was a good pitcher. I mean, I threw a lot of junk. I'm watching the World Series right now, and I cannot believe these guys are trying to swing at a ball this way when it's going that way. I mean, or step up a little bit in the box and catch the curveball before it hits. I mean, little things. So I don't know who their coaching things are, how they teach them, but they sure in the heck don't know the basics. They don't know how to bunt. They don't know how to get a person in scoring position. Situations win game, work the other person's brain. That's what life's all about. It's all about offense, defense. Which way you going to go? You don't want the blue car? I'm going to sell you the brown one. Is that what you want, the brown one? No. Lady came in one day, says, one thing I don't want a green car. Lady was all in green. Beautifully. All in green shoes, everything. Green. You don't want a green car? No, I don't want a green car. You have red hair. You look good in green. No. Whatever. After a little while, whenever that, she dropped me. She says, I really like this green car. Yes, ma'am. I think you do, and you look perfect in it. Go ahead.
Christmas, red and green. Pitching coach Ronnie Lamar, hitting coach Ronnie Lamar. It's all good. So final thought, Ronnie, with high school sports. Your son played, you played, right. Obviously, Chalmation Nation here, Newman Greeny, the whole deal. Okay. I know you love high school sports. That's why you support this, and right. We're incredibly grateful that you do.
I saw my son, Ronnie Michael Lamarck Jr., he's 6'3" about. I saw him play at Newman, then I saw him go to LSU and play, and everyone at LSU is going to the NFL, they think. I said, son, I am the NFL on a minor scale. I would pray if you'd come to work for me. Through Ronnie Michael, I saw so much happen on the football field, and I was so honored to see him there. I'll look back, ladies and gentlemen, on that time, and in the Holy Bible, we can't look back. It only could be forward. I'd love to have that moment again. There's a lot of people wish they had that moment again. There's a lot of people, the pathway to heaven is narrow, the gate, and wide. If you want to go the other way, we're in the world. You don't have to be of the world. I used to be in the world. I'm not of the world anymore. I'm with my Lord and doing everything I can to do the right thing, Ken. I'm doing everything. And look, I want to keep the commandments of the Lord. I fell. I hit the ground. I'm up, and I know the pathway. I am without excuse. My conscience tells me, love your God with all your heart, mind, and your soul, and love your neighbors yourself, and obey my commandments. Amen.
Automotive dealer, hitting coach, preacher, Ronnie Lamarck.
Amen.
Ronnie, always a pleasure. Appreciate the visit. Keep up the great work, and thank you for all that you do.
Tomorrow they got LSU and Alabama playing, right? Okay. Let me tell you something. On paper, LSU has no chance. Alabama's a 21-point favorite. But those kids at LSU don't know that. And they were losing 17-3 against Ole Miss and came back. I'm so proud of them, man. I'm so proud of what's happening with high school sports and the amount of time and energy people put in to train these kids, to work with these kids, to give them a foundation, to keep them off the streets, to keep them safe and sound with an education. You don't have to be, on the left side, because I could have definitely been with Jody and those guys, riding in the car, cigarettes up. I never did smoke, but they had to have certain because they wanted to be tough, But I was already tough. Yeah. So anyway, Ken, we could talk all day about what you bring to the plate for these kids that they can stream, and these people at home with shut-ins and stuff that can now have a chance to be part of the game that you can now visualize, not just through radio, but through streaming, through television. I compliment you and your entire organization. I mean that, man.
Appreciate it, Ronnie. Thank you. And, of course, we encourage people to check out Lamarck Automotive Complex. I think you won't be disappointed with the choices and with the really good people that are here at this dealership. So it's halftime. Franklinton and Lakeshore coming back with Lenny and Wade in just a moment. But one final word.
Look, we got free water, free coffee, and we got popcorn.
Popcorn. Must be a reason. Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Enough already. Thank everyone. Back in just a moment with Lenny and Wade here on Crescent City Sports.
Ken, Ronnie, thank you. It's hard to follow that act, I got to tell you. With those, they were having fun.
Yeah,
and yes, there must be a reason. There is a reason we're here tonight, and that's because there's a district championship on the line. Franklinton with a 12-7 lead over Lakeshore at halftime. Wait, let's take a look at some of the first half numbers in this one. And judging by those numbers, you think Lakeshore was winning this football game. They've run the ball, even though you got to give Franklinton credit. They've done a nice job of handling Colby Ziegler thus far. Has just 25 yards on 11 carries. Well, I think 23 yards, I should say, on 11 carries. But they've gotten it done with other people. So it's, they've found other ways to get things going in the running game, and they've run for 143 yards.
Right, they've shut down Ziegler nicely, but they're having struggles with the fullback and the little waggle game. The quarterback is doing a nice job running the ball off the waggle. Willie is. So yes, they're finding other ways to move the football. But the thing that's helping Franklinton here is things like
the miscues. You got a fumble,
correct.
You got a fumble, and then you got the misplayed kickoff. So
correct.
Those two plays right there have led to 6 points, and they're really the difference in this football game.
That is the difference, and that's what I was going to say. Miscues and the oh my goodness, the kicking game issues, right? So that stuff's got to get cleaned up in Week 10. I keep saying that, cleaned up.
Yep, you start to look ahead to the playoffs, and let's kind of do that a little bit here because, again, the playoffs, the brackets come out on Sunday, but they have a new look this year. So let's kind of give you a little bit of football playoffs 101, if you will, leading into Sunday's announcement of what the playoffs will look like. On the non-select side, Lakeshore and Franklinton are both non-select Division II. We're going to have 4 brackets of 28 teams each. Classifications don't mean a thing other than districting and such, where you're going to land there. So in those 28-team brackets, the top 4 teams are getting byes. Seeds 5 through 16 host first-round games. We showed you the power rankings earlier going into Week 10. Lakeshore at 13, Franklinton at 17. So this has got big ramifications from that perspective in terms of who hosts. Now on the select side, you got a few less teams. The percentage split is about 52-48 non-select to select in the new definition of select. You've got 4 brackets of 24 teams each. Remember, for non-select or select Division 1, you had, an 11, 12-team bracket. Everyone got in. It was that way Division 2, Division 3. Now you've got about 33 teams in each of those 4 divisions. 24 of them will get in. So you're not guaranteed a spot anymore. No. So 8 buys, and then 9 through 16 host first-round games. Now, you're watching us in New Orleans. The Orleans and the Jefferson Parish Public Schools are part of the select side because of how the LHSA now defines select. We could be here. We could be here for the rest of the night going through all of those things. But again, pay attention. See where your teams are. Sunday, the brackets will come out. We will be somewhere next Friday night for a game. Actually, I should say you will be somewhere. Ken Berthelot will be in this seat with you as we get the playoffs underway, and which should be a lot of fun. And coaches are sitting there. They've got somebody on every staff who's sitting there doing all the math, trying to figure out who they might be playing. Can they get it home? Can they get a bye? All that kind of thing between now and the announcement on Sunday.
Well, if they don't have somebody on the staff, they've got somebody in the math department, right?
Exactly.
So those guys are crunching numbers, and if this team wins and that team wins, and then there's a late forfeit, and then all of a sudden there's a little wrench thrown into the old equation, and by Sunday it's all worked out. And sometimes you're right on the numbers, and sometimes you're not, but you're right. And as you look at that 28 and 24, those brackets are a lot more filled out. They're not as watered down. That's what the coaches want. That's what the LHSAA gave them. And like you said, teams that you would think were quote-unquote non-select are now select. There's a definition. And that's what the LHSA has come up with back in June,
right?
When they had their summer meetings.
Right, and you had the appeals in September. Then after that is when things got finalized. So who's sitting on top? Let's take a look at who the potential number 1 seeds would be if the season ended going into this week. Those were the number 1 seeds. On the non-select side, Ruston, who has played a murderer's row of a schedule, got a huge one tonight going against West Monroe, Opelousas, Manny, and Kentwood. And then on the select side, Warren Easton, they won last night over McDonough 35 to win their district championship. Turlings, what a great story. They've been in Division 2. Newman in Division 3. Can they finally get to a championship game in Arch Manning's senior year? And then Vermilion Catholic in Division 4.
Well, if that was the way it was as of right now, and there's a few of those teams that are right there on that screen that are in dogfights as we sit here talking right now. Like, for example, Newman currently is in a dogfight
down
with a district championship. Right.
7-0 to St. Charles Catholic, who, by the way, went in second in the power points in Division 3. Don't know how all the math would work out, but that's potentially to decide who the 1 seed is going to be. And that obviously affects the bracket. But if 1 and 2 get to the Dome, of course, it's then it becomes semantics. It's who's wearing the dark uniforms and such. It's not the opportunity to host or anything like that. So, we mentioned that Ruston West Monroe game. Second quarter, Ruston 28, West Monroe 10. Okay. Let's take this into account, okay? You talk, the West Monroe history. You've been there. You've played them. You've seen it. You know what it is. West Monroe has a string going of 26 consecutive district championships. That's on the line tonight. So keep that in mind as the night goes on.
Look, that's a prideful program, right? And I guarantee those coaches have been pounding that into their players this week at practice about what it means to win a district championship at West Monroe.
No doubt. Couple of finals last night. We mentioned Easton over McDonough 35, 59-38. Congratulations to De La Salle. You saw it here last night on Crescent City Sports, beating Booker T. Washington to win a district championship 33-7. They're going to have a first-round bye and be a high seed. That Division II select side is loaded.
Outrageous.
It's unbelievable the amount of quality teams you have in that bracket. Tonight at halftime, E.D. White leads St. James. That's a district championship game. 28-12 at halftime. We mentioned St. Charles Catholic winning at Newman 7-0 at the half. Shaw could potentially be with getting a bye in the Division II bracket. They were sitting around the 8 slot. They lead Helen Cox at halftime, 42-6. Maybe the game of the night is going on at Yeoman Stadium, and another district championship game, and Edna Carr is taking it to John Curtis, 32-0. Carr at halftime.
Look, they've just shifted gears, right? They've been in fourth gear for the past 3 weeks.
But really about 6 or 7 weeks.
Right.
As soon as the news came down
Correct.
that they were forfeiting their first 3 games on a Friday, we had their game on Saturday of that week against St. Aug, and they took St. Aug to the woodshed and have pretty much taken a lot of other teams from the Catholic League in their first year in the Catholic League to the woodshed as well, as they are.
They're like a fine-tuned Ferrari. They just downshifted, and they're fixing to drop it into 5th gear right now as they head into the playoffs. They know how to handle things when it comes to playoffs with all the experience that they had, and they're fun to watch.
No doubt about it. All right, we are set for football here in the second half. So Franklinton won the toss, deferred. They're going to get the football here to start the third quarter. Lakeshore elects to take the win here in the third quarter, so Franklinton will get the win for the fourth quarter. Could that be a factor? Here's a pooch kick to start things off to about the 23-yard line, trying to get a return coming to the near side, and some room to run. Can he get the edge? No, it's well defended, and a fortuitous bounce right there as Colin Williams, I think, lost the football on the way down, but it came right back to him. That could have been a disastrous play at the end of this. Watch at the end of the run here, Wade.
Look how he's carrying the ball.
Yep.
Okay, that's the first issue. Second issue, he kind of slings it out.
Yeah, look, it went down and hit off the shoulder pad of the Lakeshore defender who was bringing him down. That was Cato Pichon, the sophomore, on coverage that time.
It's good to be lucky. And he was lucky.
All right, so Franklinton will start from the 33. And before this one can get underway, we've got whistles.
Flag on the play.
And the Demons are going to work from behind the chains.
5 yards, first down, 15.
Lakeshore still in their 3-man front, dropping 8.
They work from that
zone.
They work from that odd stack.
It's an odd stack, but you can do a lot of things with your front in that odd stack. But they're sitting in it, and they're also sitting in a 2-deep zone. Look at the cushion that the wide receivers have. The number 1 receivers from the boundary.
Yep, 3 to the top of your screen. Empty backfield. 5 receivers out on the route, and pass is going to be caught and wrapped up after about a 3-yard gain. That was Connor McGee on the catch. Give him about 4 yards.
Corner bails. Wide receiver sits. Take the easy throw for a nice pickup.
11.
Still behind the sticks, though.
Following the Demon 32-yard line.
So 2nd and 11, put it at the 32-yard line. Sidecar and 4 receivers. Quarterback's going to keep it and will smartly run out of bounds after the gain of about 6. See where they put it down? Yeah, they'll put it down at the 38-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 5. Anders didn't run an awful lot of the first half.
Well, it's designed quarterback run. They bring the backside guard wrapped around, trying to get up into the bubble onto the linebacker. It's all stacked up in there by Lakeshore. He bounces it to the outside to make nice yardage.
So the line to make the 43-yard line, the ball sitting between the 37 and 38.
Lakeshore showing blitz.
Saw that once before, and Franklinton burned them for their only touchdown of the night. Now they'll peel out of it. Quarterback bobbles the snap. That was a good snap that time. He's got nowhere to go. He's just going to have to throw this away, and it's going to be 4th down. Anders bobbled the snap, which kind of threw things off kilter to begin with, and then after that had nowhere to go with the football as Lakeshore dropped 8.
Well, got to handle the snap first, right? First of all, you got to get the ball, correct? So they're behind on snap number 1 with the penalty, and then they drop the ball on snap number 3. Doesn't start off good.
High snap. This is going over the punter's head. Back inside the 5. What's he going to do? try to run with it right there, and Lakeshore is starting with great field position inside the 5-yard line.
The Demon punter, Hartman. Takes over first
That
and
was
10.
the punter was Partman, and that thing. What's the old line in from Major League Two? Unless that's Shaquille O'Neal and left, that's a home run. Yeah, that was unless Shaq is back there to handle that snap, I think that was going over his head no matter what. That was way up there.
Yeah, that was launched. Well, it's going to set up Lakeshore with a
Call it first and goal from the Demon 3-yard.
nice spot inside the 5.
Yep. Now you got a chance to take the lead here. Big play potentially in this football game. Lakeshore's got everybody in tight right now except for one wide receiver. Give it to the fullback, and maybe a yard that time for Kitchen.
Kitchen up the middle.
They run to the strong side with a nice little lead there. They base everything up. They're just going base, getting a hat. On a hat right there. They don't get any movement on that Franklinton defensive line. I don't think they picked up a yard.
No, I don't think he did either. I think that ball's still touching the 3-yard line from our vantage point over here. We're on the opposite side of the 50. So you get down to that far end. Kind of dependent on the camera angles. Quarterback keeps it. And he's marked short of the goal line. Very close, though.
Keeper up the middle.
You got one side saying short and one side saying it's a touchdown. So which is it?
Yeah,
it's only the guys with the stripes on make the call.
And they'll go quickly here on 3rd and goal. Sneak it yet again. I don't know if he got there. He might have gotten stood up. Let's see. They're coming in. Lakeshore is indicating touchdown. No signal. Now it's a touchdown.
There you go.
Took a little while to get the signal, but indeed, it is a touchdown. Lakeshore has regained the lead.
You know, everybody's a lawyer, right? I mean, you got each side trying to influence the guys that are the judges, correct? It's amazing.
All right, so point after try coming. It's a 1-point game. Too soon to start chasing points, I guess, Wade, here. You kick the extra point?
Kick the one, absolutely.
Extra point for the Titans.
Kick is good. And your new score with 9:31 to play here in the 3rd quarter is Lakeshore 14 and Franklinton 12. That drive wasn't long. 3 plays, 3 yards coming off the mistake in the punting game.
Just by Riverside Medical Center.
So big turn of events right there has now given the Titans a 2-point lead in this game.
Thank you, Riverside Medical Center, and go Demons.
It gives us a chance to remind you tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Rapid Urgent Care, with 7 locations in South Louisiana, including an office right here in Washington Parish in Bogalusa. Rapid Urgent Care also offers telehealth services. Just log on to rapidurgentcare.com to sign up. Why wait to feel better? Go to rapidurgentcare.com. There's a location near you. Amite, Bogalusa, Slidell, Covington, Mandeville, Metairie, and Albany. Rapid Urgent Care, open 7 days a week. Our thanks to Rapid Urgent Care for their support of tonight's broadcast here on Crescent City Sports.
Daniels from 2 Williams, number 6, Micah Hart.
Well, Lakeshore capitalizes off that turnover right there. That's things like that, you want to make sure that you get points immediately down there, and they did.
This kick, bobbled, now picked up. Trying to bounce it outside, looking for room to run. Got it out past the 35, now out past the 40, out near the 45-yard line. That was Kelly Daniels on the return.
Kelly Daniels showing his wheels, picks up a nice return there as he picks up some blockers going down the left-hand side of the Franklinton sideline.
Demons take over 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. First down.
Good field position.
So call it the 44. The short pass is caught but quickly dropped there as I got to believe, Wade, that that lit a fire under this Lakeshore team, that opportunity to get the lead back. As a great pursuit on defense as Landon Schlink makes the hit for a loss of about 5 as he just hit Daniels immediately.
Well, either that lit a fire or Brett Indes lit a fire under him at halftime, right? So, Landon Schlink comes up and makes a great play on that RPO. Nice form tackle. He comes in with 42 tackles on the season, 8 of them for loss. 6 foot, 175-pound junior.
2nd down and 15. Line to make is the 46-yard line. Whistles before this one can get underway, and it's going to be a false start.
Got all types of movement up on that offensive line. When something like that happens, usually it's the center that forgets the snap count. Got everybody else moving, but the ball doesn't move. Comes back to the huddle, and everybody looks at him like, hey, it was on 2. Right. And he kind of shrugs his shoulders.
And long for Franklinton.
Second and 20. Pass. Incomplete. Had a man, but it was just a little bit low that time. That was, I believe, intended for Bryant. Yeah.
A little low, right at the shoestrings. Would have been a shoestring catch right in the center of that zone. Again, Lakeshore staying with rushing 3, dropping 8, and staying in his zone coverage. You see how he's right under the safeties, right behind the linebackers. Nice little soft spot right there, but just the ball not delivered well enough to catch it.
So it's 3rd and 20 now. The ball's still at the 34. Anders, incomplete. It was intended for Amias Tate.
Anders pass.
Is it me, or am I seeing a lot of drop balls by guys in purple tonight, right?
I'm seeing it, really on both sides this evening.
Yeah, I mean.
And look, I would imagine, you're playing for a championship. Are there some nerves out there? Certainly a possibility, but, in this kind of situation, big-time players have to make big-time plays.
Right, and it looked like he was starting to take off with the ball before he actually was going to catch it. First of all, catch the ball.
Zibber back to return.
Punt. Will check up again, take a huge Lakeshore bounce, and the Titans are going to have great field position. Let's see where they put it down, right about the midfield stripe.
Down by number 24.
Make it the 49-yard line. It will only be a 17-yard punt. So Lakeshore with a chance possibly to add on here. They got the short field and capitalized to regain the lead. Now they're going to get it back here at the 7:47 mark of the 3rd quarter, starting this drive at their 49-yard line. And still, Colby Ziegler continues to be bottled up by this Franklinton defense. A guy who has come in averaging over 200 yards a game all-purpose has got nothing going thus far this evening.
Jet sweep right there. Pinton right there at the end of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
look, I am going to say this. The timing looks a tad bit off on that jet sweep, right? That guy at the line of scrimmage, in this case it was Timothy Pinton, shouldn't have been a factor in that to get his hands on the wingback coming across in his jet sweep motion. That's something that'll have to get cleaned up also.
This time they'll run Ziegler up the middle. Best run in a while for Ziegler. As he gets 6, it'll be 3rd down and 4.
See, on that jet sweep, Lenny, what happens is that 9 technique out there where that outside linebacker's lining up, the ball should be past him real fast, right? He shouldn't be able to reach out and get a hand on it and slow everything down. So there's something a little bit off in that timing, and I'm sure that's going to be addressed by Brett Indes and his offensive staff when they get into film tomorrow and they get back on the practice field next week.
You see the sticks on the far side. Line to make is the 41. The ball sits at the 45. Play action. Quarterback's going to put it down and run and get the first down. Willie has been a threat in the running game this evening.
Well, Willie was looking deep again for Tyson Wall.
That was the play that they scored on
Correct.
in the first half.
Now, hey, great job covered up. And being right on the spot was the secondary for Franklinton. Nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks the ball and takes off.
Willie has run for 54 yards. When you got backs like Ziegler and Kitchen, Willie's the leading rusher on this team tonight. Give it away. This time to Evan Kitchen.
Kitchen on a carry. Stop after
Will get about 3.
Little end over formation right there. The second receiver that was at the top of your screen was covered up by the number 1 receiver to the boundary, so he was ineligible. All he could do from his position was go downfield and block.
So Willie has 54 yards rushing. Kitchen has 44. Ziegler has 29. That pass bounced out there. I don't know if the quarterback slipped or if somebody got in there that quickly to hit him as he was throwing. But in any case, Willie was falling down as he tried to throw the football.
I thought it was the old skip pass,
Yeah.
where you skip it out there to your wide receiver and everybody stops playing and you pick the ball up and throw it downfield. Right, except it would have to be a lateral.
Yeah.
Right, it looked like he was kind of knocked off balance. Maybe he stepped on a lineman's foot by accident as he was coming out from underneath the center.
Yeah, Willie was a little gimpy heading towards the sideline as well, and Brent Indest is going to take a timeout here with 5:44 remaining in the third quarter.
It almost looked as if maybe the center stepped back. They might have stepped on his foot, kind of pinned his cleat down. That's ouch when you get stepped on by a big offensive lineman like that.
How about Holy Cross? We talked about the Catholic League a bit earlier. Holy Cross on the road tonight, leading East St. John 17-9 in the third quarter. That would be an enormous win for Coach Salt and the Tigers. They are right on the fringe of the playoff bracket, Division I, and a win there, I think, would put them in.
Well,
certainly.
You know what? I thought they had a great game plan last week against Jesuit. We did that game. There's a counter crisscross.
Yeah, there you go. We actually we'll take a look at it here, Wade, but there were 2 handoffs there.
Called counter crisscross. Watch it. It looks like sweep going one way, and they give it to the quick reverse coming back the other.
Run out of bounds by Pitt.
There's 1 handoff, 2 handoff, counter crisscross right there. You got pulling linemen out in front of you. It's actually a counter play, counter tray. Oh, my goodness. That goes back to the old wing T books, Tubby Raymond and Ted Kimsky.
That was Jalen Clayton on the run that time for Lakeshore. Give him 11, and the Titans have a first down. Now off the left side. Brought down, but not until after he gets the first down, as Colby Ziegler's dragged out of bounds. Let's see where they spot the football. I think it's going to be at the 13-yard line, and 11 yards. That is Ziegler's best run of the night.
Power.
Yeah, it just came back against the grain there. Looked like it had the look of that jet sweep. That could have been easily a horse collar right there at the end of the play.
We got in the hole in his vision, let him see what was backside. He just bent it all the way back against the pursuit for a nice pickup. Like you said, best gain of the night for Ziegler.
40 yards on 14 carries now for Ziegler. Oh, great pursuit that time by the front of Franklinton as Tredell Causey just got in there and blew that play up before it could ever get started, and Kitchen is hit for a loss.
Watch this. Hello.
Was he in the, did he get in Kitchen's kitchen right there, I believe?
He got in Kitchen's kitchen. Not a good block by Bryce Lejeune right there. Kind of got blown up at the line of scrimmage. Causey, all 6'1", 256, introduces himself to Kitchen. He comes in with 24 tackles, 3 of them for loss. Let's add 4 to his list now.
On 2nd and 10, Willie will put it down and keep it. And did he get in? Touchdown. Willie continues to get it done with his legs. Second rushing touchdown of the night.
Willie's been the spark tonight with his legs. That was waggle, keep all the way. He wasn't even looking at a receiver. The receiver was just jogging off down the end zone. He tucks that ball and gets down the boundary. Look at the receiver up top. He's not even expecting a football. He cuts back against the grain right there and gets tackled into the end zone for another touchdown for Lakeshore.
So big extra point here coming by Gegenheimer. This would make it a 2-score game. It is. Good, and your new score with 3:50 remaining in the third quarter is Lakeshore 21 and Franklinton 12.
Here's another look at the waggle. 2 linemen getting out in front of him. He's not even looking to throw that football. He gets out there to the edge and he tucks that thing away and gets going. He gets tackled into the end zone for the touchdown. He's been the X factor, I think, tonight for Lakeshore.
Oh, no
with
doubt.
his legs, making things happen out on the edge. You know, where Ziegler has been rough getting going with his legs, Willie has taken over that role.
Kicking off.
You know, how about this young man, Gegenheimer? You know, hey, excuse me, tonight you're kicking everything tonight. Oh, I'm doing what? Right? So Gegenheimer, the backup kicker, this junior does a nice job coming in here at the last second being told that he's going to be the kicker on the evening because the number 1 kicker is homesick with the flu. That would be Aiden Sheldon.
Got to have backups for everything. It's why you practice these things, right?
Well, usually I'd get on the bus and say, hey, who can kick?
From the 13. Not much doing there for Daniels. Looked like for a split second he might have a seam, but he gets us out to about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, but for all reality, getting back to that, in actuality, a lot of people do not have a backup kicker, right? You've got to practice that. You've got to have a backup holder. You've got to have a backup snapper, right? And you practice that in practice because you never know. You never know when somebody gets the flu or, I don't know, falls off of a bicycle or something and hurts themselves. So you got to definitely have those backups ready to go in those specialty areas.
It's a quarterback keeper all the way and a lot of room to run that time. As Zion Anders out to the 49-yard line. Nice looking run that time, a gain of 17.
He's quick, right? When he decides to commit to running the football, he's like shot out of a gun, right? So here's a good look at it. You see, he tucked that thing. That's quarterback sweep all the way, right? So he sees a crease, and he gets vertical now, and he's off to the races.
Quarterback's going to keep it again. And Anders will get 4, maybe 5 on first down.
On the keeper, pushed out of bounds.
Quarterback counter that time.
Give him about 4. And move the football into Lakeshore territory at the 47-yard line. A big possession in this game, obviously, for Franklinton. You got to get points some way, somehow. Could be 7, could be 3. You're down 9. It's a 2-score game.
Right. You got to answer off those 2 scores by Lakeshore somehow to keep yourself into this and also to keep your mind into what's going on.
Play action. Pressure coming. Pass is incomplete. And pursuit coming. And that was also a nice job of defending. The pressure, first of all, coming. That was Antoine Labrastri coming up from his defensive end position to try to get home.
And Schlenk wants that over again. That hit him right in the hands. He'd have been gone, and it would have been a 3-score lead, right? So, I mean, whoo, that hit him right in the hands.
So a big third down right now. Line to make is the 41. Anders, incomplete. It was intended for Kelly Daniels.
He runs a slant right underneath the zone, hits him right in the hands, and he drops it.
Daniels incomplete.
Ouch.
4th down demons.
This is 4-down territory here?
I think so. 2 score down.
No, we're going to see the punting unit. I think, the concern here is what's happened in with the snapping.
Right.
But if you could pin him back, as this is a good snap, if you could pin him back and try to play some defense, that's different. This is going to go out of bounds, and let's see exactly where it's going. It's going to be at about the 30, 31, let's see, 32-yard line.
See, my issue is he's punting into that gale force wind, right?
32-yard line.
I like the idea of 4-down territory right there and taking my chances at midfield, right?
So the football at the 32-yard line. Lakeshore has had it twice in the second half. They've scored 2 touchdowns. Reversed a 12-7 halftime deficit into a 21-12 lead. Give it away on first down, and Colby Ziegler still cannot find room to run as Khaled Waliaga.
Waliaga makes a great play coming up on the Bucs sweep. Watch number 5 here from his linebacker position. See if we get it over again here.
Ball at the Lakeshore 31-yard
So it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Here's your
Here we
look.
go. Take a look at number 5 coming right into your picture right there.
Yeah.
Hello.
No.
Nice tackle.
Clock ticks towards 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Fumbled snap, but the quarterback got back on it that time. Willie
Didn't secure the ball.
Yeah.
Got to seed that ball right in the midsection from the snap. He's got to take that snap, bring it right to his midsection, the point to seed that thing. Just didn't seed it. Bad things happen when you don't seed the ball coming out from underneath center, and that's exactly what happened. They were very lucky right there. That ball wasn't turned over.
So now it's 3rd and 12.
Fundamentals. And, Brent Indes talked about that, not having a spring training, that some of his fundamentals just aren't very good because he came on so late.
Haven't had the reps, exactly.
Came on so late in June.
Willie pass is intercepted. Coming back the other way, that's sent Quaylen Connerly down the sidelines and knocked out of bounds inside the 10.
That's a quick change to momentum. Ball right into the hands of Quaylen Connerly, who gets down the boundary. Not a very good thrown pass by Willie. Willie just tried to force that thing in there off the waggle action again. Throws it right into the hands of Connerly, and Connerly takes off. It's kind of what the doctor ordered for the Demons.
Actually, they're going to put it down at the 12-yard line. Just didn't see Connerly right there. Thought he had a man open. And, yeah, I guess he stepped out. He was brought down inside the 10, but he stepped out before that. So they're going to put it down at the 12-yard line. Franklinton looking to capitalize. Nowhere to go for Anders. Fires, and that was nearly intercepted.
Anders pass, incomplete.
That was Jared Robertson in coverage.
2nd down.
Trying to make something happen, I understand, but you almost threw it right into the hands of the defender. Just go ahead right there and go down, right?
Or even just throw it out of the back of the end zone.
Throw it out the back of the end zone. Let's do something here. Let's don't try to force the issue. We've got a chance to get this thing to a 1-score game. Let's don't make a bad decision, right?
So 2nd and 10. Ball at the Lakeshore 12-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Franklinton going to come up with a big play right here. This is quarterback keeper by Anders trying to get to the edge. He is brought down by a host of Titans at about the 7 or 8 yard line. It's going to be 3rd down.
Great pursuit by the white jerseys. Getting a lot of people out there against the quarterback counter. Led kind of by number 33 again, Landon Schlink. Boy, he's had a nice night. Woo, nice tackle.
3rd down, called it 7.
Good fundamentals right there. Using your shoulder pad, getting lower than your opponent, making a nice tackle with your shoulder and wrapping up with your arms.
Clock ticks towards the final seconds of the quarter here. They'll run it this time. That's close to a first down. Let's wait for the mark. I think Hart got there.
Right side might go hard.
I think he did too. I think he has a fresh set of downs inside the 5.
And I think that's going to be the final play of the third quarter as well, as they'll start the clock. As soon as they reset the chains, they'll wind it, and that will do it for the third quarter. But Franklinton, with a big play on defense, is now knocking on the doors. We will switch ends. After 3, your new score, or your score after 3, is Lakeshore 21 and Franklinton 12. You're watching high school football from Crescent City Sports.
And as we head into the fourth quarter, we'd like to thank our third quarter sponsor tonight, Riverside Medical Center. Fourth quarter sponsor, Frankie Crosby, and school board member, and Sonic Drive-In. Tonight's fourth quarter brought to us by District 8 school board member, Frankie Crosby, the only real fighter on the ballot. Vote number 71, Frankie Crosby, for re-election for the Washington Parish School Board. And also Sonic Drive-In, always Reese Miller and his staff at Sonic. We always thank Sonic Drive-In for their quarter sponsorship, and go Demons.
All right, here we go. 12 minutes to play in this one for the District 8 4A championship, with Franklinton knocking on the door. Quarterback Anders handles the low snap, falls forward, reaches out. He didn't get to the goal line. He's going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, just short on the quarterback keeper off the left-hand side. Great blocking out in front, just couldn't get there. Nice job filling the hole. A lot of white jerseys on pursuit right there.
Lakeshore 1 yard line.
I think that was Nathan Miller, the rover, on that tackle.
Second down and goal. Stacked up. I don't think he got in. Hart went off a right guard that time and did not get there. And it's going to be third down.
Right, Braden Peterson there. Stepping up from his Mike linebacker position to make the hit. Nicely done right there. Number 4, James Gleason. My goodness gracious, 5'10", 190-pound senior there to make that tackle.
And nothing doing that time as the Lakeshore defense responds to bring down Anders once again short of the line. And it's going to be fourth and goal.
Woo, nice stick right at the line of scrimmage. Watch this tackle. Pow. Very, very nice.
That was Caden Broussard coming in from his defensive end position to make that hit.
6'3", 240, junior.
Fourth down and goal. Biggest play of the ball game right here, Wade.
Definitely.
Fourth down. Demons on the field.
This is more of a sweep and will not get there, as there were a host of white shirts stretching the play out, and Anders could not get there. Lakeshore with a huge stop on fourth down.
Guess who was there to set the edge on defense? Number 3, Kobe Ziegler. Kind of does it all. Running back, special teams, plays a little defense when he has to, down especially on the goal line, comes up and sets the edge. Let's see if you can see it to the left-hand side of your screen. Watts getting off the block right there. See how he set the edge?
And made the tackle as well.
Made the tackle, drives him out of bounds. Great play, Kobe Ziegler. Now he's in shotgun, Wildcat.
And we'll run it here on first down.
He's a good football player. Look, he may not have the yardage tonight from his halfback position, but he's an impact guy on the field for Lakeshore.
6.
So give Ziegler 4 on first down.
You know, with guys like that, you find a way to put them in positions to help your football team. So if you've got to put them on defense, you put them on defense. If you've got to put them on special teams, you put them there.
And that will be enough for the first down.
Side, ridden down by Waliaga.
Evan
Out
Kitchens,
past the 15-yard line.
Evan Kitchens from his fullback position runs the weak side ISO.
I believe that was Ziegler on the
Was
carry.
that Ziegler?
Yep. Maybe that's what it takes to get him going. Let him get out there and make a play on the defensive side of the football.
I bet moving forward into the playoffs, you'll see more of number 3 on the defensive side of the ball. I'm sure that's Coach Brent Indest has that on his mind.
Everybody in tight right now for the Titans. Ziegler once again on a carry, and that's pretty close to a first down.
Ziegler.
Kind of coming from a one-back set there. Runs downhill. He makes a one-cut move and bursts into the second level of the defense. Nice vision, nice jump cut. Lakeshore's going to try to eat a lot of clock right here.
A lot of clock right here, yeah.
All the way down.
Yeah, it's going to tick under the 8-minute mark here.
Right. Again, our 40-second clock, the play, the field clock is not working.
Timeout on the field.
Timeout, Lakeshore. So Brent Indest wants to talk about it just a bit. Gives us a chance to tell you that tonight's coverage on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Metairie Bank. At Metairie Bank, your success is personal to us. We've always been the biggest advocates for our customers in the community. Metairie Bank is locally owned and operated, built on the time-tested foundation of relationships and trust. Visit MetairieBank.com to learn more. Metairie Bank, member FDIC. By the way, did you know Metairie Bank has locations on the North Shore?
They're everywhere.
They are. Don't let the name fool you.
Brent Indest talking to his team right now about holding on to the football, right? Let's don't make any mistakes where we put the ball on the ground and give Franklinton another shot at getting back into this football game, right? So what are they talking about on the Franklinton huddle over there? Hey, got a tackle, and when you're around the pile, strip the football. Make something happen here.
Elsewhere in 8-4-8 tonight, Pearl River winning at Hannon 35-21. That's in the fourth quarter. Third quarter, Salmon, who's in that second place tie with Franklinton, if the Demons could come back, could potentially be in a position to have a three-way tie for the district title. They lead LaRanger 41-21. So they're doing their job. They're just not getting any help at the moment, at least, from Franklinton.
Ziegler pulled down by
That
Causey.
was Ziegler once again on a carry as we're getting a heavy dose of number 3 on this possession, and even going back to the last possession.
And I don't blame him, but that was a great tackle by Tredell Causey from his defensive line position, coming, slashing down the line of scrimmage, making a great play on Ziegler.
So now 62 yards on the night for Ziegler. And that's a heads-up play right there by the quarterback, Willie, not to take a hit. He's going to roll out and then slide down, but he's short of the first down. It's one of the things that people don't realize is when you go to give yourself up, the minute you start to give yourself up is where you're down. It's not where you finish the slide.
Well, two things on this. Number one, he was not going to throw that football. Number two, watch Brent Indest's reaction when he comes up a yard short. What is he telling him right here? Know where the sticks are. Get the sticks before you go down. right? You got to know the sticks. He could have easily gotten the sticks and moved those chains. Got to know situational football.
73 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns tonight for Willie. 3rd and 2. This time they're going to run the jet sweep, and getting the first down, that was Tyson Wall. We called his name in the first series on a couple of jet sweeps, and it's the first time they've gone back to that play since then.
Timing looked a lot better there. You could see the widest guy there in the line of scrimmage doesn't even get a piece of him, so the timing's better as they're getting out there onto the edge. Tyson Wall picks up the first down, moves the chains, keeps the clock running. Franklinton might start thinking about using a timeout here.
Yeah, we may tick under the 6-minute mark before this ball is snapped.
Right, exactly. So you stop that clock and try to give yourself a chance to make a play defensively and force a punt, get them behind the chains.
Not much doing right there on first down. That was Kitchen on the carry that time.
Brought down by Partman from his linebacker position. They run the quick trap, try to trap the first man past the ball. No doing there. Couldn't get the trap block. Linebackers cleared, steps in there and makes a nice play.
Destrehan, by the way, rolling over Thibodeau 42-7 in the fourth quarter. Destrehan is going to be undefeated. They made a big jump in the power rankings this week. They had been way down, even with their undefeated record, but they jumped up to 4th after that big win over East St. John.
Boy, Marcus Scott doing a great job with those Wildcats.
No doubt. Quarterback keeper, and near the first down marker is Willie. It's going to be 3rd down on about a yard or two.
Great job by Willie right there. I said he's the X factor tonight, no doubt about it. Again, waggle. Look at this. Keep the ball.
Willie on the keeper.
Nicely done. Stay in bounds. Cover that thing up when you're going down, right? Make sure you don't put that ball out where it can get slapped away, or you put it into the official's hands and you go down and you fumble the ball on the ground, and the official has now make a decision whether or not it's a fumble. Don't want to do that.
3rd and 2. They're going to run the jet sweep once again for another first down. Same play they ran on 3rd and short a moment ago to Wall. Went back to it, and they'll move them again. What a drive this has been by Lakeshore. Backed up in their own end, and a flag comes in at the end of the play. Extracurriculars at the end of this one.
A lot of pushing and shoving, a little chippiness over there at the end of the play. Flag comes out. They're always going to get the second person involved in the retaliation. Everybody's pleading their case over there.
You see the flag sitting on the ground right next to the referee. Wait for the signal.
Officials confer and want to make sure they've got the right numbers, the right call.
Brent Indest is right there, getting his side of the story in.
Yeah, looks like Morse Bart trying to
plead his case, right?
Yeah, plead his case.
Unsportsmanlike. It's going to go against Lakeshore, and it's going to be first down because it's a post-play foul. They got the first down.
They got to penalize them 15, move the chains back, and it'll be first down again.
We'll bring up first down in 10.
So
that's not the important. Well, the important thing here is not where the chains are.
39-yard line.
The important thing is it's 4:24 on the clock, and they're just eating this thing alive.
Right. They got the ball.
Right. Franklinton needs to think timeout.
Right. Yeah. They've eaten about 5.5 minutes off the clock here. Now it's not going to wind until the snap. And a big gain on first down.
Kitchen left side.
Franklinton has all of their timeouts remaining as Kitchen gets about 9 on that one.
Down about a yard.
They've got it now. They've got it going, Wade, where you got things going in multiple directions. You've got that jet sweep motion. You've got the
right.
You're seeing multiple options, and you've got this Franklinton defense on its heels a bit.
Everything builds off of everything. They all complement each other. Motion this way, run the belly X like they just did right there. Motion that way, run waggle. Motion this way, run power. Everything complements each other in the wing T. You have a direct play, you have a counter off of it, and you have a play action pass off of the way the action goes in the backfield.
Well, they're going to give Willie forward progress in the first down there. I thought he was stopped behind the line to gain, but in fact, he's going to get 2 yards on the play all the way out to midfield.
And the clock keeps running.
Willie tonight, 82 yards rushing. Did not have big rushing numbers coming in. And a lot of times you do see the quarterback in veer offenses get it done. And whistles before this one can get underway, and I believe we got a timeout coming.
Looks like Lakeshore took this time.
Yeah, Lakeshore, and that may be their final timeout with 2:56 to play. Show it as their final timeout of the half. So again, coming up Sunday, it's bracket day for the LHSAA. We get the reveal of the 8 brackets, the road to the Dome for the Oxner Prep Classic, the second weekend of December.
This Sunday after week 10, it's all done on computer now, so you don't have to go travel. Everybody used to travel up to Baton Rouge in the old days. We'd bring all 10 films, right? And we'd have them in our car, and we'd go in and listen to the committee come up with the brackets, and they'd put them all up, and they'd get to see who you're playing. Then you go out to the parking lot and you exchange your film, right? Not that way anymore. Everybody stays home. Everybody has it kind of figured out on the computers. And now with the invention of, obviously, Huddle and the internet, nobody has to go travel to trade films anymore.
On first down, not much doing that time for Ziegler off the left side. Might have got about a half yard.
Well, if Franklinton's not going to stop the clock, they've kind of basically said, we're just going to let this thing play out.
You still got some time out there here. I don't know exactly how many. We've got them with 3. I thought they might have used 1 at some point here. So if they did, then maybe they're going to do it on second and third down here. Let's see what happens. But this has been a very time-consuming drive by Lakeshore. Began just under the 10-minute mark after they got that fourth down stop at the goal line. Fumbled snap, and Willie does the smart thing. Doesn't try to do anything with it, just immediately falls on it, takes a knee, and there comes the timeout by Franklinton.
There's your timeout. Okay, so what don't you do with the ball if you're Lakeshore?
Put it on the ground.
Thank you. Don't put it on the ground. Secure the snap, correct? Hey. That makes coaches have to go take like Pepto-Bismol or a Zantac or something of that nature, right? I don't know what is it for your heartburn and your stomach, right? Yeah. But you see the ball go on the ground. You got a 2-score lead. It's almost under 2 minutes in the game, and the ball goes on the ground. Holy cow! I would say that would pull your hair out, but Brett Endes doesn't have any more hair.
Yeah,
so he's going to pull his beard out, yeah. Right? I mean, holy smokes.
So third down and 10. Clock at 2 minutes and 11 seconds to play.
At the 50-yard line.
That play was nicely defended in the backfield right there. And a late flag comes in here after the third down stop. And it's a personal foul against Franklinton, and that's a personal foul both ways. They're going to offset. Okay.
A little chippiness right there. Both of them kind of beating on each other right now. I saw involved in that for Franklinton was Banyan Penton. Didn't get the Lakeshore number, but little chippiness going on. Good job by the official being right there on it, throwing the flag. Going both ways, offset. But what that does do is that serves notice to both teams that they need to get their act in gear, that they don't need to continue on with that type of play.
And another timeout here.
You know, two great football teams tonight here, and you know,
and both of these teams are going to the playoffs,
yes,
obviously.
and
but you've got
have chance to go, I think, deep into the playoffs, both of them. You know, and you know, two well-coached football teams, two outstanding coaching staffs.
And we mentioned both of these guys in their first year, but they've got a number of victories under their belt. Brennan Destas won 194 games. Guy with Comps won 121.
Right,
they've been to semifinals. They've been to finals. They know what it takes to succeed at the best level.
Right, a lot of skins on the wall. A lot of skins on the wall. These guys are really good football coaches.
Punt is on the way. And this will be downed. I don't know if somebody, we've got a flag coming in on that, and another flag behind it. So we're getting a lot of laundry here late in this one.
You know, you're getting some, you know,
some frustration, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, that and it's turning out into cheap shots. You're going to have, they're shaking their head. I get it.
I think that was okay. I thought that was a blindside block, and then we got a sportsmanlike coming that way. I don't know if these are going to offset. Let's see.
You got a blindside block. It depends on if one was dead.
Well, they both came in late in the play, but you're right. It was one might have been while the ball was still rolling. The other might have been after the play.
Yeah. See how they determine it.
So it's possible they both get enforced here and they net nothing. Let's see how it all plays out. Because if you've got one live ball, one dead ball, you got to enforce them both.
Yes. And you saw, you know, our head referee there with the white hat as he was fixing the call, kind of shaking his head like, guys, this, you know, you gotta chill out on things because this is uncalled for.
So we'll get one penalty marked off. And then we'll get another penalty marked off, and it's basically going to be a net of 0.
Right. You got to go through the motions because that's the way the rule book reads. You don't want anything to mar in week 10, either if you're winning this game or you're going to come out on the wrong side of the scoreboard in this game. You don't want to mar the seasons that you've had by doing something not good in your last minute 52 seconds.
Pass on first down is incomplete. It was low in the direction of Kelly Daniels.
Kelly Daniels doing everything he can going down on the ground to try to catch that low pass from Anders.
The big sequence in this game, you know, Franklinton had a chance to get back in it. They made that interception, returned the ball to the 12-yard line, got first and goal with the 2 as the fourth quarter started, and Lakeshore held Franklinton out of the end zone on 4 plays from the 2-yard line. Anders, pass caught. Daniels, first down and more, out past the 50-yard line to the Lakeshore 49. It's a gain of 22.
A lot of room to operate under that prevent coverage that Lakeshore is kind of playing real soft. Take what you can get up the field, try to get out of bounds.
90 seconds to play. Pass is caught. That's a situation short of the sticks there. It might have been better served heading out of bounds.
Right. You catch that short pass, don't turn in. Turn out situational football. Know your time on your clock. Know where your boundary is. Get to the boundary ASAP.
2nd and 3 now at the 42. Anders. Pass is over the head of Daniels, incomplete.
Daniels wide open, just not a good throw, just sails.
Yep.
Defending there, Jane Giesland. I think I pronounced it right that time.
A minute 2, as you see. 3rd down and 3. Remember, Franklinton's got the wind at their back, so if you want to start thinking about you get a few more yards here, you need a touchdown and a field goal. Do you try to get the field goal and leave yourself enough time to go after the touchdown?
You got to get one of the two. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't have to be in any particular order, of course. Anders bobbled the snap, comes up with it. Pass is caught. First down to about the 15-yard line. That was Daniel Bryan on the catch.
Big gain on the play. Flag on the ground.
Great catch.
We got a flag down where this is in the backfield. Never mind. It's coming back. It's holding.
Oh, my goodness. It's going to negate that great throw. Again, Anders has to bobble the snap, right? But he gets his wits about him, gets his feet set, and he fires it right down the middle of the field, right in between the safeties of Lakeshore for a nice pickup. But it's all for naught as that thing's coming back for a 10-yard from the spot of the foul, holding penalty.
It's going to be 3rd down and 14 at the Franklinton 47-yard line. Line to make is the Lakeshore 39. Anders on the move, pass incomplete. It was intended for Colin Williams, and it's now 4th down and 14, and here's the last chance for the Demons.
Yep, here's your last shot. Don't want to scramble around. It's going to burn a lot of clock, right? Don't want to take a sack. It's going to kill you and cost you that last timeout. You got to have protection. If they're going to rush 3, you got to make sure your guy has enough time to step up and throw that football. Like to see Lakeshore bring some blitz. This is when you bring it right now. Bring some heat.
Anders lets it fly. It is caught and a first down. Nice job by Daniels with some awareness there. He could have come back for that ball a little bit, maybe kept going, but he stayed past the marker.
Keeps the Demons alive by getting that first down. Nice route.
Anders. Incomplete. That was intended, I believe, for McGee, yes.
Incomplete.
Well, intended for McGee. Gavin Stein comes up and makes a great hit right there. Kind of gets there at the time the ball gets there and
2nd down, Demons.
dislodges the ball. McGee slow getting up. Kind of took a shot right in the ribs.
See the end of this one?
Ball kind of hangs him out to dry right there, right? So it's kind of late getting there. It hangs him out to dry. Kind of makes him give up his ribs.
But we had a penalty, I believe, because now it's 1st down and 15. So that play may not have.
Be 1st down.
Could have been a holding penalty?
Either that or some kind of maybe an illegal formation or. Anders lets it fly for the end zone. He overshot his man. That time was trying to hit Williams.
Well covered out there by the Lakeshore defense. Had a safety over the top, corner running underneath. Daniels and just kind of wasn't open. Ball sailed out of bounds over his head.
We appreciate your
So 23 seconds to play here.
businesses in town. Keep things local. And go Demons.
And it appears that, barring a miracle, Lakeshore is going to extend its district winning streak to 22 games. They've already clinched a share of their 6th consecutive district championship. Whistles before this one can get underway. And it's a delay of game.
Delay of game against the Demons.
So it's 2nd down and 20. Move it back to the 48-yard line.
Well, it just makes that throw a lot harder. I think you got to think sticks here. You got to think about getting that first down, and then at least that puts you in, taking a shot at field goal.
Yeah, perhaps you could try a field goal.
Then you come back with an onside kick.
Yeah, Levine, we mentioned, was hitting from right around 50 yards in warm-ups. So if you can get it there, that's incomplete. Now it's 3rd down and 20.
I think that's what they were trying to do right there. Get the ball out there, trying to give him an opportunity for the receiver to run, get that sticks.
Another flag. Let's see what this one was about.
Those officials are getting their arm work in right here at the end of the game. They're pleading with everybody to try to keep order, and let's don't do things that's going to get you possibly put out a football game as well as a playoff game.
I know there was an incident last night. It's a dead ball personal foul. It's against Franklinton.
The Demons.
So the play is going to count. And this is going to back way up. There was an incident last night in the De La Salle Booker T. Washington game, the game we aired here on Crescent City Sports. And it will be interesting to see what the result of that is. That could impact Booker T in the playoffs next week. So it's 3rd and 35, Wade. There's not many 3rd and 35s on anybody's play card, is there?
There is not.
Pass is caught. Still on his feet, Daniels. He gets out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He almost got the first down. It's a gain of 33.
Big gain on the play.
Nice move, nice catch. Watch the move he puts on the defender after he catches the football right here. Really nice throw right here. There we go. Grow. There's another one.
Steps out of bounds. So 4th down and 2. With 7 seconds to play. Anders staying alive. Still staying alive. Flag comes in. Pass is going to be caught for a touchdown, but this is going to come back because of holding.
Oh my goodness!
Now, if you accept it, is there another play? Do you accept it? Is there another play, or does that mean the game is over? Let's see. How does this get enforced?
We've got to see what the call is first. Okay.
It's offensive holding. I saw the indication. And again, it's just semantics at this point, but
you've got to accept it. Okay.
So if the question is, if you decline the penalty, you let them score, the game's over. If you accept the penalty, then maybe they get another play. Let's see what happens.
Right.
Holding, it is declined, and it is a touchdown. Okay. So the score is going to count, and that is it. And the final score is going to be Lakeshore 21 and Franklinton 18.
Wow. Okay.
So you get a touchdown on the last play that ends the game.
Right. I mean, here's the deal. All right, I'm looking at what went wrong here, right? Besides the penalty, you don't let the defender behind you, right?
Right.
You can't let the defender behind you.
It's one of these situations that you've won the game, and now you got a teaching situation as well, because you might face this in a one-score game.
Correct.
Some point in the playoffs, and you got to be able to make the play.
So you don't let the defender behind you. You knock the ball down to the ground. It's a whole catastrophe of things going on here. And you're right. Everything is a teaching opportunity, and that's what you're doing as a coach. You're teaching these young men, and you've got two of the better teachers in this state out there coaching these two teams, Brett Endest and Guy LeCompte. These guys do great jobs, and they've got good football teams that are going to head on into the playoffs, and I think they're going to have some success in the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a good league. So Bryant gets credit for the 30-yard touchdown catch on that last play.
Okay.
And, of course, no extra point try because you don't need it. So the final score, 21-18, Lakeshore defeating Franklinton here. And Lakeshore, once again, is the outright District 8 4A champions. Both these teams heading to the playoffs. Lakeshore at 8-2. They came in as number 13 in the power rankings. Franklinton came in at number 17. Their regular season will end at 5-5. So here we go. End of the regular season, Wade. And now it's every coach's favorite time of the year. It's playoff time. You get ready to head on to the postseason. Many of these teams, some people will be heading home, but a lot of people will be playing next Friday night or getting ready to play the following Friday night if you've really had an extraordinary year.
It's every coach's favorite time of the season, like you said, and those guys now are going to get ready to go into the lanyard part of the season and enjoy, the positioning of what they did throughout the regular season, and these two football teams are well deserved to going into the playoffs, and I think they're going to make some noise moving forward myself.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Wade, thank you. This was a good one this evening, an entertaining matchup as we thought it might be between these two teams. So for Wade Kaiser, for Chip Merritt, for Matt Merritt, and for Matt Beal, I'm Lonnie Van Gilder saying so long from Franklinton. Once again, your final score tonight, Lakeshore 21, Franklinton 18. Lakeshore is the District 8 4A champions. We will have playoff football for you next week. Check with CrescentCitySports.com on where we'll be. Of course, check with us as well on Sunday to see the reveal of the brackets as well as our analysis of how it all shakes out. Until next week, so long, everybody.
All right.